How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
To bookkeeping and tax problems by Mid-Union. Altogether better by Signature Style Rings. Enhance the self-esteem of your student athlete. Jefferson Point. Shopping with a special point of view. McDonald's. I'm loving it. Aaron Chiropractic. Specializing in spinal health. By Stiefel, a firm of choice. Tom Steel Tire Service. Building trust with customers for over 30 years. And with special promotional consideration by the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. Nobody delivers the goods each morning like the Journal-Gazette. Now let's head to the stadium and join Joe Parson with all the action.
We're approaching the halfway point of the high school football regular season. Tonight, our Friday Night Lights focus will be on Wayne Stadium, where the Generals come home still looking for that elusive first win facing the banged-up Northside Redskins. Hi, everybody. Glad you could join us for Summit Athletic Conference football tonight. Along with Joe Walburn, I'm Joe Parson. And Wayne, Joe, still looking to find some consistency on offense. Generals have scored just 2 touchdowns this entire first 4 games. One of those against Southside, your former team, last week, which they made stand up late until a 21-7 loss, but the defense remained stout for the Wayne Generals.
Yeah, the defense has been dominant this year for Wayne. You know, the game before South, the defense gave Bishop Lures all kinds of fits before they ultimately lost that game 7-0. And last week, Joe, Jack Thomas, the defensive end for Wayne, 6'1", 240, the junior, he's a force on the edge, 10 tackles and a sack. So far this season for Wayne is the defense has shown up and dominated the point of attack, but as we know with football, it's a team game, and that offense just hasn't come alive for Wayne, and it's a young offense. I know Coach Moore has decided to go with a lot of young kids, 4 freshmen, and I don't think it's been a long time since you and I have done a high school football game where we've said 4 freshmen starting on offense, and then you mix in 2 sophomores and a new quarterback and Jonas Thatcher, and all of a sudden you have so much inexperience on the offense. So I think what Coach Moore is planning on doing is he's going to try to learn with these mistakes early on with the young offense. He knows his defense is strong, but I think the biggest thing though tonight is the turnovers, Joe. Wayne comes in, and we talked about it before, minus 13 in turnovers, and last week, I love my Archers, but 4 big turnovers, and I do think Wayne's a better team than South, but when you turn the ball over 4 times, you're not going to win.
Let's take a look at the Redskins. They were also on the short end of a 29-13 outcome last week against Bishop Dwenger. Of even more concern, though, Joe, maybe the status of junior quarterback Arian Nieves. He was hobbled against the Saints a week ago, and they really need him. We are told in the pregame notes supplied by North that Logan Capps is expected to be the starter, but we're also hearing that Nieves is available for duty, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, Northside needs Nieves. Nieves is one of the more exciting quarterbacks in the area. You talk about a run-pass threat, that's Nieves. And last year we had him against Southside, and we were so impressed with the way he could get outside the pocket. But this year, when you have those running quarterbacks, you're going to take those hits, and you're going to get beaten up. And coming in on the season, Nieves has thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. So I think what's going on is he's taking an awful lot of hits in games, and Northside just hasn't been able to protect him. And as far as the defense for the Redskins, they gave up over 200 yards rushing to Bishop Dwenger last week. Now, I know Dwenger ran through Homestead, and Dwenger's been a force this year, but you have to stop the run at the point of attack. So, you know, we come in tonight with the team that Wayne that we know is struggling, trying to get better. And with Northside, I think Northside is one of the more puzzling teams in the area because they have that big win over Carroll. But then last week when they come back against Dwenger, they get manhandled. So up and down for Northside, and then just a lot of questions with the young team for Wayne.
No question about it. Northside fighting to go over 500 .500 for the year. They would do that if they get a win here tonight against Wayne. And by the way, the Redskins had just 3 wins all of last year, so that would be a high water mark as well compared to a year ago. The Generals, well, I'll tell you what, they're after any kind of win they could get here tonight. And we'll be back with more. We'll check in with both head coaches when our pregame presentation continues. We'll have head coach Derek Moore up next, the other side of the break after this 2-minute timeout. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket.
The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're an aspiring pro or recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team.
Hi, I'm Charlie Momper from Momper Insulation. We've been around since 1956, and we're still the #1 name in insulation. Chances are you've seen us re-insulating the home in your neighborhood, where we blow insulation into the sidewalls and attic to make your heating and cooling more efficient. Give us a call and let's talk about all the insulation options we have available to help you save money. I know we can do the job for you. You've got my word on it. Call us at 432-7543.
Behind the scenes of the making of a great play area.
I'm envisioning something really spectacular, something over the top. Let's draw up some plans.
Yes, JP.
Right away, JP. Excellent idea.
Bold move, JP.
We'll get right on it.
I see a large fort with a giant cannon to slide down. Let's make it historic. Tie it in with the history of Fort Wayne. And we gotta have it soft so kids of all ages can play. Let's have those blueprints on my desk by Monday morning.
Jefferson Point and Lutheran Children's Hospital ER presents Fort Wayne's largest indoor soft play area. Parents can relax while the kids explore a fort, slide down a cannon, and crawl through the 16-foot cherry blossom tree. Over 2,000 square feet of indoor play area, the largest retail play area in the state of Indiana. Bring the kids and enjoy the fun at Jefferson Point. For details, go to jeffersonshopping.com.
There's so much to see. It's where you want to be. Jefferson Point, Jefferson Point.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Just ahead of kickoff, let's check in with head coach Derek Moore, hoping tonight might be the night where they can break through the Wayne Generals and get a victory here at home, taking on the Northside Redskins. Coach, looking at your roster, you know, one of the staples to a certain extent has been your defense. Last week had a 6-0 lead well into the fourth quarter. Had a chance to make that stand up potentially to get a win. Didn't work out that way, but throughout the first 4 games, defense led by Jock Thomas has been one of the strengths, hasn't it?
Oh, yes, sir. Our defense has definitely been our strength. We look forward to continue that tonight. Our guys fly around. They play fundamentally sound football, and they're mean.
When I look at your team offensively, you have the potential of starting possibly 4 freshmen, a couple of sophomores. Is it fair to say it's kind of job in training at this point, you know, compared to maybe a year ago when Wayne had the Powers twins?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a process. We are still implementing our system. I'm telling our guys Rome wasn't built in a day, but when we get it going, look for fireworks.
No, you've got a senior leadership, so to speak, at quarterback with Jonas Thatcher. Evaluate him through 4 games and what he's got to improve on tonight to lead you to victory.
We can't turn the ball over. We got to take care of the ball. We got to possess the ball. We got to value it. We got to make sure that we do the things right that we're supposed to in order to be productive on offense.
Let's talk about Northside coming in. They're 2-2, but they've been banged up, hampered by injuries also. As you look at the Redskins, I know you're talking about some of the things, but are there any other particular focal points that Wayne's got to do to win this game tonight?
We just got to do what we do best. I tell our guys every week, it's like we're playing ourselves. If we do what we're supposed to do, we can beat anybody, and we feel like that. So even though, we're playing a great Northside team, they're 2-2. They've been up and down. They lost to DeWanger, but beat Carroll. We just got to do what we're supposed to do, and that's be fundamentally sound, play Wayne football.
Head coach Derek Moore with some pregame comments in his first year as head man of the Generals. Of course, he's been around the Summit Athletic Conference. In fact, you'll hear Ryan Hall talking about him. He coached with him over at Northside for a couple of years and employs a lot of the basic defensive schemes that he learned or at least picked up while with the Redskins. Speaking of the Redskins, we'll check in with head coach Ryan Hall after this at a 2-minute timeout. Let's make that 1-minute break, 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back with more. This is IHSAA Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Next time you're downtown and needing to feed your sweet tooth, you're just a few steps away from Rudy's. Fort Wayne's perfect location for stocking up on those famous to brands gourmet chocolates the Summit City is famous for. Rudy's is located just catty corner from the main entrance to Parkview Field. In fact, Rudy's is a great place to meet up with friends before an event at the ballpark. There's even outside patio seating, ideal for relaxing after work. With a wide assortment of adult beverages and aromas to choose from as well, Rudy's, distinctly different in downtown Fort Wayne.
Trust the doctors at the IPFW Athletics and the Fort Wayne Comets Trust. Aaron Chiropractic is well known for providing quality yet cost-effective care for sports injuries, muscle, or joint problems. They're one of the only clinics in the region to provide its patients with pain relief utilizing numerous therapies, including acupuncture, massage, and rehabilitation. Aaron Chiropractic is conveniently located in Northeast Fort Wayne. Find us on the web at aaronchiro.com or call 492-8811 to schedule an appointment.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
I want to talk about a couple of the leaders, though, on your team. And I saw Montrell Moore, just 3 carries, but 55 yards, Coach, last week against a pretty good Saints defense. Might he figure more into the strategy tonight against Wayne?
Yeah, he, not to take anything away from him, he got some of those, Dwayne had their JV in at the end there. Montrell's thing is he runs the ball hard. He ran the ball well against Southside, but then against Homestead, he decided that he didn't want to block for us. So we kind of sent a message of, hey, if you're going to carry the ball, you're going to have to block for us and carry out fakes and everything. And he did a pretty good job last week, so we're going to go ahead and start him tonight and see how he does.
I got to also mention David Johnson. I tell you, pound for pound, inch for inch, he is one of the most dynamic players. I mean, he's unintimidated. He'll lay out for a ball anywhere. You got to be very proud of his effort.
Absolutely. You said it perfectly. Pound for pound. I mean, the kid's 150 pounds and 5'7". He'll do whatever you ask him to do. He'll catch the ball. He'll run the ball. You'll see him run the ball a little bit tonight. I told Mers, our offense coordinator, this weekend we were meeting, I said we got to find ways to get him the ball a little bit more. So he's came up with, to get him some touches, and then he returns punts, kickoffs, he plays corner. He doesn't come out and he doesn't complain. He's just a great kid. I wish we had more of him.
Defensively, Tyson Whitner putting superlative numbers again this year. Sorrells leads you with sacks, 6 sacks. Again, they're kind of the leaders on D.
Yeah, that's our strong side on our defense right now. So Lino has always been one of the better athletes that we've had. He's always just been injured, and we finally found a great spot for him. We love to blitz him off the edge. This week at practice, he's done a good job in the pass game, picking passes off and then blitzing off the edge. So he's becoming more comfortable, and that's what, just more games, he's going to become more and more comfortable. And Tyson's just Tyson. Every time you look, he has 12, 13 tackles, and he's making a big play on the goal line or something. Those two guys, you're right, are the key to our defense.
Let's talk about Wayne. Obviously, young team, struggling team, but their defense has been relatively sound. And talk about the challenges from a Northside perspective trying to move the ball against the Generals.
Yeah, we can't turn the ball over. I mean, playing in this conference, every game that we've lost so far, it's been turnover. We haven't won the turnover battle, so we got to take care of the ball. We knew when Coach Moore got the job, he was a defensive guy, so we knew that, whether they struggled as a team or as an offense, we always knew that their defense was going to be sound, and they'll get after it. He runs a 3-4 a lot like we did. He coached with us for a year or two, and I took the 3-4 over here, and he does a good job with it. He blitzes kids, and he's aggressive. I like watching it, Not tonight, but I like watching good defenses get after it.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins.
Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tire, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tire, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center.
Sold. That's the word you expect to hear when selling a home. And Rick Whitman from Century 21 Bradley can give you and your family the advice, expertise, and satisfaction to fit your needs when buying or selling a home. With Rick Whitman's nearly 40 years of can-do experience, you'll find an effective method to accomplish your goal. Select the proper loan and feel the comfort of your new home. When you think real estate, think Rick Whitman at Century 21 Bradley. Call 260-704-6565. Be sure to ask for Rick.
McDonald's presents things said at breakfast by no one ever.
Burnt toast. Hot diggity darn.
Rubbery waffles? I'm still gonna get my grub on.
Ooh, cold leftovers. Mama likey.
No one ever loves a bad breakfast, so get a real one. Served every morning at McDonald's.
Make mornings real and get 2 Egg McMuffin or 2 Sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches or 1 of each for just $3.50 at McDonald's. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Price is single item on menu.
Satisfied with your bank? Have you considered a credit union? Midwest America offers about any service you need. The convenience of free mobile banking, debit cards, ATMs, free online banking and bill payer, competitive loans, mortgages, and more. Deposits insured to $500,000. Hey, consider this an invitation. Your next bank should be a credit union. Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
And now back to the IHS AA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Wayne homecoming tonight for the Generals, taking on the Northside Redskins. Redskins 2-2 coming in. And in the 5A poll, in the coaches poll, they're ranked number 9 this week. The Generals looking for their first win of the year. They are 0-4. As far as North a year ago, they finished 3-7. They were 2-5 in the SAC. They were beaten twice by Wayne a year ago, including 40-35 in the sectionals. 78 degrees here ahead of kickoff. We wait for our referee. The meeting at midfield. Joe Alburn's down for the reenactment of the coin toss. Will be going down shortly when the co-captains come out. Cloudy skies and chance of thunderstorms, we're told, between now and maybe about halftime, but we're hoping we'll be able to get this game in. Right now, looks like maybe just a chance for some rain. We hope that that is the extent of it. As far as other games going on elsewhere in the SAC tonight, second-ranked Snyder, they're hosting number 14 Carroll. Carroll at 3-1. And the Panthers, the lone unbeaten now in the SAC. Dwenger hosting Northrop. Northrop, by the way, in the 6A poll, as far as the coaches, are ranked number 11. So a little love extended by the coaches around the state of Indiana to the Bruins. Concordia playing at Bishop Luers tonight. Southside against 15th ranked Homestead. In the Northeast 8, number 5 Leo at East Noble. That is a big game in the Northeast 8. And New Haven, they're home to Norwell. In the ACAC Woodland way down south, they'll take on Southern Wells. And by the way, our Friday Night Lights feature of next week will switch up a little bit, and we will focus on the Northeast 8. We'll be at New Haven in the Bulldogs game against Columbia City. 7 o'clock next Friday night, our pregame at about 6:40 on Fox Sports. Well, Wayne is struggling to find points on the board. They're averaging in their 4 losses just less than 3.5 points a ball game. And their quarterback, Joe Alburn, talked about Jonas Thatcher. For the season, he is 15 of 50 through the air for just 166 yards, no touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And you heard Coach Derek Moore talk about we've got to control the turnovers. That's a big key as to how this game may end up tonight. As for the Northside Redskins, will he or won't he start? Darian Nieves, who was hobbled last week against Bishop Dwenger. We were told during the week that it would be Logan Capps to start at quarterback. But the late word was Capps is available for duty. And expecting to see more of Montrell Moore tonight, the 230-pound junior running back for the Redskins, who had just 3 carries a week ago and 55 yards. And David Johnson, who had just 1 catch last week for 37 yards. But we have seen just some spectacular plays by that young man this season. Leads the Redskins offensively with 25 catches and 314 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Right now we're getting ready for the co-captains to come out. We'll have the introductions of the co-captains and the reenactment of the coin toss coming up. Let's go down to midfield.
Again, gentlemen, we're here for a good night of football, good sportsmanship, heads-up football, okay? All right, Wayne, you have won the toss and elected to receive.
Joe, that's our head referee, Jerry Parker. Wayne wins the toss, and a bit of a surprise to that young offense, they're going to elect to receive the football, so we'll get a look at that young offense early on. As far as field conditions, the field's fantastic out here, Joe. One of my favorite venues out here. It's always a fast venue out here at Wayne. As far as weather, the rain's holding off now. We might have some rain later on in the game. It's humid down here, Joe, but overall it's a great night for high school football.
Field looks good, Joe. We'll see you back up here. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
You're a super fan who will tailgate anywhere. The pros? Check. College? Check. Your 8-year-old's Pee-wee game? Big time. And to prepare for this ritual, you head to Meijer for freshly prepared food and licensed team apparel. Proudly display allegiance to your favorite team with our licensed short and long sleeve tees, hoodies, hats, and jerseys. Plus, load up on fresh meats, snacks, and drinks. So don't just tailgate. Tail greater at Meijer.
Brought to you by Meijer. Meijer is proud to support IHSAA football.
Every small business person has the same dread: taxes, reports, and bookkeeping. What are you to do? You know you can't afford the big guys to keep you legal and solvent? Well, now there's Walburn Financial Management to save the day. Here's their number. You're going to want to remember this one: 260-459-2240. That's 459-2240. Why? Well, Walburn Financial Management specializes in the little guy. With reasonable rates and sensible retainers, Walburn Financial Management, simply perfect for the small business budget.
You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Getting ready for kickoff here at Wayne Stadium with Joe Walburn. I'm Joe Parson. Glad you could join us. Hopefully the rains will hold off. Wayne won the toss on homecoming. They want the ball. They've got 2 back deep. They'll be returning out of the north end zone to our left. Javier Johnson back deep, along with the starting freshman running back Devonair Kelsaw. Forgot to ask Joe if he's any relation to Akeem Kelsaw, plays over at St. Francis.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. It's a good last name to have in football, isn't it?
Here comes the kick by Northside. Long end over end, coming far side. That'll be Johnson with the ball. Brings it across the 10, cuts the middle of the field, 15, 20, 25. Middle of the field, he's got a running room up to the 45, cuts to his left, 40, 35, being chased by Caps, cuts back right side and finally brought down from behind, but he got all the way down to the Redskin 15. Wayne looking for a great start. They got it by Javier Johnson, a 5'8 junior.
Wow, and how about that speed to reverse the field and to get on down. So great start for Wayne. You like the special teams action if you're Coach Moore, because you're inexperienced on offense. Now you give your offense a short field to work with. Fantastic start for Wayne.
Unofficially, 81-yard kickoff return by Johnson to set up 1st and 10 at the 16 of Northside. So Wayne with a great early scoring opportunity. They've not been able to say that often this year. Craig Young checks into the ball game. He's tight to the right side. Now they're going to flip-flop him back to the left side. Quarterback is Jonas Thatcher. 2 running backs offset to the left side, and there's a penalty flag right away on the first snap on the handoff, as they were trying to give that ball off to Andy Roth, who's come in.
And another mistake with Northside, offsides that time, Joe. They lined up offside. So if I'm Coach Hall, I'm not very happy at this point. We're 2 plays in. We've already made a couple mistakes.
Instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 5 And we still are looking for the game's first snap of the ball game. Cameron Chambers now checking in from the near sidelines. He's another freshman, Joe.
And I think he might be taking the snap here, Joe. This is a bit of a surprise. We didn't expect to see him. I think he may be the quarterback out there, Joe.
Yeah, so it is Cameron Chambers, and looking, it does hand the ball up, and North smells that out, and a little counter run off to the right. Andy Roth on the receiving end, but on the handoff, but he's going to lose about a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Can you remember the last time we saw a freshman start at quarterback in a varsity football game?
It's been a while.
Good size, 6 feet, 180 pounds. Coach Moore's high on his athletic ability, so I just think Coach Moore stepped back and said, you know what? We're tough on defense. Offense, we're going to play the kids.
You know, it's funny, Wayne talked to Derek Moore just not that long ago, never gave us any hint that he's going to make a change at quarterback from Jonas Thatcher. 2nd down and 7, penalty flags again. Here's a cutback to the left side. A little running room initially for the freshman Devonair Kelsaw. Came in to start tonight. He's a freshman, 5'7", 32 carries. That's his 33rd for 185 yards. He'll add to that margin.
Yeah, only 140 pounds, but he's a tough kid. He runs hard, Joe, and he's taken some hits this year, but just seems to handle them. I think it's a kid that once he gets in the weight room and develops that body, I think he could be a real force.
Had 10 carries last week for 72 yards. That is another penalty procedure against Wayne. So we have had a penalty-filled game already after that marvelous kickoff return by Javier Johnson that got the ball to the 16. But now it's going to be 2nd down and 12. And the ball is back near the 18, 19-yard line. Cameron Chambers looking to throw the ball under pressure, throws one up. He's got a catch right side and then a drop that was in and out of the hands of Jeffrey Davis. So a lot of new numbers from what we were told, Joe.
It's freshmen across the board. Number 8, Craig Young, a 6'3", 185 freshman's in the backfield. Devonair Kelsaw in the backfield. I mean, at quarterback, we're looking at Cameron Chambers. These are all freshmen. I mean, it's Friday night. It's not Monday night. It's not the freshman night. This is Friday night football. So Wayne is just absolutely gone young, Joe.
Fabian Pearson is also out there. He's a junior. He's split wide to the right side. So Chambers now looking to pick up 12 yards on 3rd down, obviously in 4-down yardage area. Ball is back at the 19-yard line. Now they're going to split out Craig Young to the left side, and whistles blow once again, another penalty flag. But there is a timeout called by Wayne. Let's see if that beat the play clock, which is about to expire. We'll step out for this 30-second timeout. 10:47 remains. Wayne still in the red zone. When we return, no score. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management. Stifel can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989. Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, Wayne trying to take advantage of some initial good field position at the 16. They're back now at the Redskin 19. They need 12 yards in 4-down yardage area. 10:47 early on in this opening quarter. No score. And a lot of freshmen out there wearing the red helmets and the red uniforms for the Wayne Generals. And one of them is Cameron Chambers. Rolls to his right, looking, looks for a block, trying to turn the corners, not going to find it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Pushed out of bounds right about the 20-yard line is Lionel Sorrells, who leads the Redskins with 6 sacks. Ran him out of bounds, so it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, good defense with Northside to close down and make that play, Joe. So good hold with Northside, and that time with Chambers, as he matures as a quarterback, what he's going to have to realize is you have to keep that ball in the throwing position. Even though you break the pocket, you still want to be a threat to throw the football.
Bailey's salary is in to it. No, check it. They're going to have a long one attempt. This will be 37 yards. A little from the right side hash mark. Kick is long enough. It's got a chance on the way, and it is good. So 37-yard field goal is put through by Luke Andrews. He's a 5'8 junior. 37-yard field goal, and just like that, Wayne on top here at home on homecoming, 3-0. We'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket.
Savvy sports fans in the Summit City go when they need to know more than just the score. It's an easy choice. No other media outlet covers the local sports scene like the Journal-Gazette. You get 7-day sideline coverage from the area's most experienced and knowledgeable sports staff. It's a commitment to Fort Wayne that the Journal-Gazette takes very seriously. When you need to know the story behind the story, nobody delivers the goods each morning like the Journal-Gazette. And even when you're on the go, you can still catch up on the latest sports news online at www.journalgazette.net or from your mobile device at www.jgmobile.net. Start your sports day right, every day, 7 days a week with the Journal-Gazette. And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, the ticket.
Redskins on the short end of a 3-0 score. Rashawn Lockett is back deep along with Deshaun Mudd.
Impressive kick. That's the best field goal we've seen this year.
He had plenty of leg, Joe.
Plenty of leg. That was well done.
Could hit it maybe from 45 or longer.
Yeah, so special teams helps Wayne out to an early lead.
Now he just hit the field goal. He'll kick it away. Comes near side. That's Mudd. Mudd inside the 15. Works up field and hit and jarred and brought down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, nice coverage, Joe. That time it was Anthony Black, another underclassman, a junior, races down the field and drops his pad. So far for Coach Moore and Wayne, special teams, A+ so far. The big return with their kick return, the special teams field goal, and now good coverage in the kick. So now we're going to see the strength of Wayne's team and that defense, and we'll see how Northside responds to a little bit of adversity early on.
And we're going to see right away, will it be 8 or will it be 12 out there? We were told it would be Logan Capps, and indeed it looks like it'll be Logan Capps to start at quarterback this evening. We were told that Area Nave is available for duty. Jerry Parker, as you mentioned, is our referee tonight. Going back and talking to Capps.
And he's only thrown one pass so far this year, Joe, so not much game time action back there.
As far as rushing, he has 38 carries, 177 yards. He's averaging about 4.5 yards a carry. Montrell Moore did not find an opening there in that Wayne defense. They stand tall as they stop it for no gain.
Anthony Black, again, he makes the play on special teams, and that time from his outside linebacker position, destroys the left tackle, Joe, and gets in the backfield. And Moore's a big kid, and the way you handle a big back is you have to hit him in the backfield. Moore goes 230, Joe.
There's a fumbled snap on a high ball. They do hand the ball off, and they'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, and maybe another half a yard or yard to the 21. So Northside kind of a rough start as they'll be looking at 3rd down and 9, trying to reach their own 30-yard line, just across the 30-yard line.
And that tackle for Wayne was made by Darius Alexander, 6'2", 220, and a freshman. Getting the theme, aren't you? Look out in a few years, man.
Montrell Moore sets up in the slot left side. There was encroachment on the left side defensively. Shooting across was Brendan Exley. Exley, one of the starters. That'll cost the Generals 5 yards.
And Exley gets taken out of the game for that, you know. I mean, I tell you, Coach Moore, he's not messing around out here, is he? He's putting a message out there. We call those Sicilian messages. That's what they are to these kids, isn't it? You think they're listening?
Yes, you're young, but you're going to learn or else. Damon Marlowe now checks in on the left defensive side. Here's a quarterback keeper play by Capps. He's got running room. 1st down, 35-40. Cuts down along the border all the way to midfield and into Wayne territory inside the 45-yard line. So Capps with the fake handoff and then rolling back to his right side, got good blocking between guard and tackle, and he's got the ball down into Wayne territory.
And you mentioned it, Joe. He's just a good athlete, and he's back there playing quarterback because he's a good athlete. You talked about the success he's had running the ball. He's also caught 13 balls this year, so he's a bit of a utility player for Northside, but it says a lot about the athletic ability when they can put him back at the quarterback position.
2 wide either side of the field. 1st and 10 now at the Wayne 44-yard line. 3-0 Generals, though, on the 37-yard field goal early on by Luke Andrews. Caps out of the shotgun, looks, hands it off. There's more running room to the 40. Cuts it outside, 35-30. Needs a block, cuts down inside the 25 to the 20, and got another couple of yards down to about the 19. Or they're going to say the knee hit back outside the 20-yard line. There are a couple of penalty flags again.
I see you, big boy. 5'11", 230, picking them up and putting them down. I love the inside cut and the bounce to the outside, Joe. And you say 5'11", 230 doesn't look like the strongest 230, but the feet and the vision, man, does he run hard. And it's a little bit of good news and bad news for Coach Hall. It's going to be a personal foul on Northside. And if I'm Coach Hall, I hate the personal foul, but I like that the offensive linemen are hustling downfield to make blocks. So we'll see how they come back with that. But, you know, you look at Montrell Moore. We saw him last year against Southside, and we thought, boy, you know what? Remember that name. He's going to be a ball player as he develops that body and these years go on.
Well, both teams tonight looking to clean things up. A week ago, they both had 12 penalties for 101 penalty yards. And Northside with a penalty there that moves the ball back to the Wayne 36-yard line. We have 8:59 remaining in this opening quarter. 3-0 Wayne, but North on the move. Now they're trying to get the yard sticks across the way lined up. It should be just 1st and 10, and now they get that straightened. So 1st and 10 at the general 36-yard line. They'll work from the left side hash mark. Montrell Moore stays in as the running back. Logan Capps does start at quarterback, trips wide right for the Skins. One wide out to the short side to the left. Capps looks to Moore again, up the middle. Plunges straight ahead, drives inside the 34 to the 33, maybe to the 32, maybe the 31-yard line.
Just carrying Wayne tacklers. You know, 5'11", 230, really runs low, hard, wears the big shoulder pads, and is able to eat those yards up between the tackles.
That's a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Montrell came into the game with 28 carries, 172 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Capps throws near sides, got a catch. That one is inside the 25 to the 22. And no, it was not Logan Snyder. It was Denicolo, Austin Denicolo on the catch.
Yeah, Denicolo comes in with 1 catch on the year for 16 yards. But see, that play action works because Moore is such a force between the tackles. All Capps has to do is put the ball in Moore's belly, and Wayne has to tighten up and respect that, and it opens up the throwing lanes on the outside.
Marvin Williams getting a start at offensive right tackle here tonight. Offset is Moore to the left. Here's Capps throwing the post. He's got a man. Catch is made. That was David Johnson. Did he hold on? He did. It's a catch inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line.
And David Johnson is another kid for Northside who is really emerging, Joe. He comes in 5'8", 160. He's got 25 catches coming in for 3 touchdowns on the night, Joe. And he has really done a nice job running those post routes for Northside. And on that play, the Wayne safety, the angle was bad. He could have made a play on the ball. Instead, he went to make the hit on Johnson. He caught a knee right to the helmet that time, Joe.
We have a stoppage of play. One of the Wayne players is down right at the goal line. The injury timeout brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHS AA. And we'll take a 30-second timeout. 3-0 Wayne with a timeout down below. IHS AA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses like yours with their visual communications. We ask the right questions, recommend smart solutions, and help you build your business. Our knowledgeable consultants uncover your communication challenges and provide visible solutions. At Fast Signs, we're innovators, planners, and designers. We're more than fast, more than signs, and we're more than ready to help. Contact Fast Signs today.
Text the word Fast Signs to 90407 to receive sales and discounts.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHS AA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Javier Johnson is the injured Wayne player. He ran back that opening kickoff down to the 16-yard line.
I think he just got his bell rung that time, Joe. And nowadays, you say you got your bell rung, it becomes a much bigger deal. We used to say, you got your bell rung, get to the sideline, get some water, you'll be okay. But they need Johnson. Johnson's been a factor on special teams, and they need his leadership on defense.
Empty backfield now for the Northside Redskins. They've got it 1st and goal at the 2-yard line officially. Capps empty backfield, 3 wide to the left. And a slot man, that's Moore to the left. The unbalanced line to the left now, and Caps runs to the left side, looking and dives into the end zone. It'll be a touchdown. So 2 yards officially for Logan Caps at the 7:45 mark, and North on top as the Redskins lead for the first time at 6-3.
And number 61 for Northside, Chris Jacobs, throws a great block that time. He throws the down block, and Logan Caps is able to plant that outside leg and take that ball in the end zone. So great drive for Northside. You get a big dose of Montrell Moore, and you also see Caps able to throw the football.
And Caps out there to attempt the extra point now, trying to give Redskins a 7-3 lead. Kick is long enough on the way, and it is good. So timeout here at Wayne Stadium. 7-3 as Wayne scores first, but the Redskins answer with a touchdown to go up by 4. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Miss a great high school game recently, or simply want to revisit that game-changing electric play that turned everything all around? Well, now there's a great new opportunity to do just that. Catch all the exciting action of our live radio broadcast simply by visiting SummitCitySports.com after our game broadcast. Plus, many other high school sports highlights to choose from as well. It's all new and available now at SummitCitySports.com.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Carson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Just a quick footnote to that spot about SummitCitySports.com. Now most weeks you can get 3 game replays in their entirety, plus highlights and interviews, all coming up usually by midday Saturdays at SummitCitySports.com.
It's awesome. And if you're a high school football junkie, it's a great way to scout some teams. It's a great way to see what's going on with different teams.
Wayne back in the kick return. Now they've got David Torres back there. Javier Johnson started the ball game with a carry all the way down on a kickoff return to the Redskins 16. And I believe that's also Kelso back there in kick return. 7-3 North. Redskins ready to kick the ball away. Squib ball. They won't kick it deep. That one filters through. It'll be picked up by Kelso, running to his right, spun around, still on his feet, got to the 20, still not down, and got to about the 21-yard line. That's where the Generals now go to work on offense, 1st and 10.
A nice job by Dyrese Howard to stay in his lane and to hustle down for Northside and to finish Kelso off that time. A couple early scores, Joe. Early on in the first quarter, Homestead 14. Plug your ears. Southside nothing. Bishop Luers 7, Concordia nothing. We were kind of interested in that game because we felt like we saw Luers at their best last week, but we like Concordia. Concordia, we saw them against South, and Concordia was tough against Snyder.
With Curligrand.
Northrop and Dwenger are scoreless. Carroll and Snyder are scoreless. And the big one, Leo East Noble, scoreless in the first quarter.
Fabian Pearson checks in. He's sent wide to the left side. They started with a quarterback, freshman at quarterback, and they stay with Chambers. There's a penalty flag as he takes the keeper play to the left side and didn't get much, starting at the 22-yard line, and we'll see about the penalty flag.
Yeah, I think Wayne's going to have an illegal motion penalty, and that's where Chambers just has to make sure that he can get these guys lined up and not have any issues.
Joe, you know, thinking back when you were a young quarterback, and there's so many things to be concerned about, you know, as the field general, especially with a young team.
Sure, and you have to kind of let the game slow down. I know you hear a lot of talk of that, but you want to take a deep breath, slow down, and when you break that huddle, just glance at that play clock. You've got time, but you got to make sure everybody's set for a second. And, you know, they used to teach up at the University of Michigan, and that second is when you take that breath and you see yourself making that play. But it's important to let your guys get set and then to develop a tempo of your offense.
I believe Northside rejected the penalty to bring up 2nd down and 10 with the ball still at the 22-yard line. A little motion now, and Chambers again trying to find running room up the middle. Second effort, got about a yard to the 23, and not much. This offensive line for the Generals averaging 229 a man, tackle to tackle. Jock Thomas, who is their all-everything, both sides of the ball, starts at center offensively. One of the rare seniors on the offensive line is Jacob Newton as the right tackle. He goes 6'4", 240. Calvin Mitchell to Quail Bass, also up front with Lucas Fender tonight.
And Jack Thomas would be a great kid for you guys to keep an eye on over at St. Francis. Just a great athlete. Can play the defensive end, the linebacker position, but really can move and does a nice job. And it's going to be important. It's going to be important that Wayne gets some push up front.
3rd down and long, 3rd down and 9. Chambers again looking, has some running room and up the middle, takes a big hit at the 30-yard line, had to get out to about the 32. And there's yet another penalty flag on the near side, though.
You just got to hate these penalties if you're Wayne. I mean, we've probably seen about 4 procedure penalties already, Joe. So
they've run 6 plays.
Yeah, you got to get this cleaned up. I mean,
that wipes out the long gainer by Cameron Chambers. So it was 3rd and 9. It'll be 3rd and 14.
And again, you know, we mentioned it, 4 freshmen starting on offense for Wayne, 2 sophomores. But you got to get lined up, and you got to be able to operate this offense. And that really falls on the shoulders of the quarterback, Cameron Chambers. And something else for Wayne, Joe, you can see Northside's playing 8 guys in the box. Coach Hall says, you know what, I don't think you guys can throw it, so I'm going to play 8 guys in the box. So for Wayne to back him up, they're going to have to throw the football. If it's short passes, then so be it, but you have got to make Northside play honest.
4 wide to the right now for the Generals as Chambers dances to the right, throws the ball up over the middle, looking for it, and that one is picked off by David Johnson. Johnson with a pick at the 40-yard line of Wayne, and so the Generals turn it over. And that is the one thing that Derek Moore says, we've got to stop, control the turnovers, but picked by the young freshman quarterback, just threw it up, hope for a prayer, and David Johnson was there to intercept.
Yeah, he's looking out there for Craig Young, another freshman who's 6'3", 185, but there was double coverage that time, and that just wasn't there. And on a post like that, you got to put a little more mustard on that football. So Northside plays good defense. You know, David Johnson makes the play, gives his offense the short field, and this is what hurts Wayne all season long. Wayne comes in minus 13 in turnovers. Only 4 games in, and they're already minus 13 in turnovers. So now it puts the pressure on that defense to step up and try to get a stop.
Redskins going to bring Tyson Whitner as the halfback, and he's offset to the left side. Montrell Moore remains as the running back. So it's the offset eye to the left. And Logan Capps started the first series, got him into the end zone, and now he starts the second series. Now they shift Moore also, and they've got motion, and they'll hand the ball off. There's a sweep come to the left side, and turning the corner to the 35 as David Johnson fights his way down close to the 30, pushed out of bounds on the near sideline, the Wayne sideline, but they were not able to contain the defensive right side for the Wayne Generals.
No, they couldn't. That's an effective play, the way they switched the tailback out there, Joe. Almost have a power set to the left and run Johnson behind it. I thought Montrell Moore could throw a better block, and he better block a little bit, or Coach Hall will take him out of the game.
Kalen DeRosier is getting a start tonight. He had 2 catches for 24 yards for the Redskins last week. He's wide right. 1st and 10 now for the Redskins. They've got it at the 29. We're at the 6-minute time mark remaining. Here's Johnson again, but a quarterback keep run by Capps to the 20 to the 15, splits defenders inside the 5 and angles out of bounds around the 3-yard line, maybe the 2.
Yeah, excellent read by Logan Capps on the read option. He keeps the football and drives it downfield, and you see the athletic ability. Now they're going to bring some of this back. There's going to be a hold on the Northside wide receiver out there, but big play though, Joe, for Capps, and really good recognition when that defensive end abandoned him. You know, he was up the field fast.
A lot of yellow laundry already though on this field. Both teams had 12 penalties, 101 yards last week, and they may be looking to equal or better that tonight.
Yeah, and the problem with the penalties are you never get into a rhythm. Now, it's still a big play for Northside even after the hold, but the penalties just totally take you out of your rhythm.
It'll be actually 1st down at about 3, and there's motion now, and that's going to cost North another 5.
Yeah, and right now you're just seeing sloppy football, and guys just aren't focusing on what they're doing. I mean, I think we've already seen 6, procedure or false start penalties, and that's really shocking to see that many in the first quarter. So if I'm Coach Hall, I'm over there barking. I'm barking focus right now.
If you're down on the sidelines, you can see the veins starting to pop out of both coaches. So it'll be 1st down and 7. Caps looks to Montrell Moore. Another penalty flag. Lowers the shoulder, runs through one tackle, got to the 20-yard line. But we'll see what this one is about. A little pushing and shoving going on. Jerry Parker going to let us know, and sideline warning.
Yeah, that's, you've already thrown so many flags. Just go over there and warn them, hey, guys, can you get back? You don't need another penalty. And now they're marking it off. I thought that first one was a warning, Joe. Isn't that how the rule works?
I think they changed that, maybe.
Oh, my gosh. Now, if I'm Coach Moore, I'm unhappy about that, okay? We're committing penalties against ourselves. Don't you give me a cheap one, okay? I'm trying to clean them up over here. So, moves to change, too. 1st down for Northside.
They're going over to Jerry Parker. Did we tell you we're starting 4 freshmen? Warning. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line now, and Derek Moore is out there
He's
requesting an explanation.
Yeah, and Jerry Parker and his crew is a good crew, but they got to walk over and give Derek a warning on that. He's over there grinding with all these freshmen. He's up to his eyeballs trying to get these guys focused and keep things straight.
He's told them, Jerry, they don't even know how to put their pants on right at this point. I've got to help them.
I'm worried about false starts,
Give you a little love, brother.
I'm worried about my offense. I'm not worried about guys being too close to the sideline.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. Wayne on the short end, 7-3. Here come the Redskins. Caps again. Quarterback keeper play to the 10, to the 5. Cuts back middle of the field. Got down to the 1.
Good strength. Good hard run by Logan Caps. Breaking tackles and gets another big play. I don't know what Wayne, right now, Joe, Wayne has got to find the quarterback. And at this point, Logan Caps is not going to throw it. And I don't think you're going to see him hand it off much now because they have not stopped him.
So it'll be 1st and goal from inside the 5 at about the 2-yard line. A little motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Caps now has got a second player in motion. They did this set, and here's a dive for the end zone. It'll be ruled a touchdown. Let's see who took that. It was the second man through on motion.
It looked like maybe that was Logan Snyder that time, number 15 for Northside. We'll see. But look, it was the wide receiver that came out and got that handoff.
We'll call it a 2-yard touchdown on a handoff. Logan Snyder, till we hear differently, getting credit for the touchdown.
David Johnson. Speedy David Johnson gets the handoff and dives. Puts the ball across the goal line, Joe. It's another good drive for Northside.
So Johnson had the interception that set up the touchdown at the 40 initially, and now the extra point is on the way, and it will be good to make it 14-3. And we'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're aspiring pro or recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Hope you can stay with us at halftime, our extended halftime with homecoming festivities going on here at Wayne Stadium. But a visit from Christine Sorg, who's a registered dietitian with Parkview Sports Medicine. She'll be talking about the importance of nutrition to athletic training. I know you're very sensitive to proper diet.
Oh, it's so important. I wish that I knew back when I played what I knew now. The weight training, the cardio training, and the nutrition, it's like a stool. And if you have those 3 legs, you can really develop your body.
Back in the old days, you could bench press a car, maybe a small car, but if you had a bag of Cheetos, that was considered a balanced training. Here's a return by Kelsaw, gets across the 25, stops short of the 30 for Wayne, up at the 29-yard line. That's where the Generals go back to work offensively. Yeah, it's really changed now.
It has changed
with the nutrition coming into play.
And all of the training is so much more scientific with what they can do. But I have to be honest, and we won't tell Christine at halftime, I stopped at Pizza King on the way out here and had a pepperoni feast and some breadsticks. So, and I topped it off with a Coke. So we won't tell Christine that. But so much for nutrition tonight. But you got to have some fun in high school football. You know, it's Friday Night Lights, and speaking of Friday Night Lights, Wayne's got to get something going with this offense, Joe.
Yeah, they have it 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line now. On the short end, 14-3. Had the early on a 37-yard field goal. Here's a keeper run near side. And stepping out of bounds across the 30 at the 33 is that freshman quarterback getting the start tonight, Cameron Chambers.
And to pass some scores on, Joe, right now Leo 7, East Noble nothing in the first quarter. So Leo out to the lead. Carroll and Snyder scoreless in the second quarter, so maybe that Carroll defensive front is holding up against Snyder. Bishop Lures 21, Concordia 7, so you know, a continuation of what we saw last week with Lures. Homestead 21, hey, we're on the board. Southside 6, and Northrop and Dwenger scoreless. And I think Dwenger might get a little bit more of a game from Northrop than what they think.
4 wide to the left once again. Here's a quarterback draw up the middle, and they're holding on for dear life on Cameron Chambers, but he'll fight his way up to about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. Tyrese Howard was in the Northside mix defensively, trying to make the stop on that freshman starting quarterback for the Wayne Generals.
And the down 3 for Northside and their defense, I think, is a bit underrated. I mean, when you look at Jaquay Williams, Marcus Brown, and Marvell Hamilton, those are 3 good players, Joe, that have been a factor in their games this year. Another penalty, personal foul on Northside that time, Joe. I think a late hit. I think what happened that time is somebody piled on the pile late. And, you know, if you're Northside, you got to be smart. Wayne has not demonstrated they can move the football. You got them down 14-3. Why give them a break?
Apparently the whistle had blown, but play continued as now Wayne benefits from the penalty all the way up to their own 49-yard line. We have 4:29 remaining here in the opening quarter, 14-3 Redskins. But improving field positions now for Wayne. 4 wide to the right, the wide side, and there was movement right away. And let's see if Northside jumped the gun a little bit.
I'm counting, is that 9 penalties so far in the game?
Procedure, though, against Wayne.
Wow.
False start.
That might be the stat of the night. Penalties.
So that'll move them back to the 44-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 15.
I stand corrected. That's the 11th penalty, Joe. I mean, we are in the first quarter. We've got 11 penalties.
What's the record?
We're heading, whatever it is, we're heading for it.
It's in jeopardy. Craig Young in, and boy, he was about 5 yards offside. Steps back, got set. Here's the blitz coming defensive left side. Chambers gets by that, cuts to the 45, stumbles back, pedals to the 50-yard line. Got another yard into North territory on the Redskin side of midfield. So he got a lot of the penalty yardage back. It'll bring up still, he'll need 9 yards on this second down call coming up.
And you can see that Cameron Chambers just trying to find his way out there. That time he's stumbling. He makes the right decision with the vision and makes the good run. But you can see he's trying to find his way, to recognize his receivers, and trying to get comfortable in some varsity action.
And, Joe, he's got some mobility.
He does. He's a big kid, Joe. I mean, 6 feet, 180 pounds. And what is he, 15 years old? I mean, he's got the ability to grow into that body. So, and he's got a little bit of moxie out there with his teammates.
And here it looks like the reverse coming up. And, boy, that one was read perfectly by Northside. They may have the football. No, Wayne got it back as Craig Young came back and helped, but that one had trouble all the way from the get-go. It was well telegraphed.
Yeah, Hakeem Woodruff that time for Northside, and Hakeem Woodruff, 6 feet, 210. He puts the hit on Chambers. Chambers figures I can at least hand it off to my wide receiver. Woodruff just says, the heck with it, I'll tackle you both. And he did too. How about that strength to bring 2 guys down?
Yeah, I think Woodruff thought he had a chance to get the football as well as take down 2 Wayne players. Big loss, though, moves the ball back. It'll be 3rd down and 30 now. check it. It'll be 3rd down and 20 with the ball back at the 39-yard line. Blitz again up the middle, and that time coming across Whitner. Thought he had timed the snap, but let's see if it's going to go against Northside.
I think it's going to be a legal procedure again on Wayne.
Now, the guard did come up, but I thought Whitner had come across the line of scrimmage. The officials are talking it over, and they call it procedure against Wayne. Not real sure about that one.
Yeah, and Lucas Fender, he just has to hold his water. You know, you're right, Joe. I thought Northside, you know, for a better word, provoked that penalty, and encroachment really should have been the call. But Lucas Fender, you have to hold your water on that play and not get the penalty.
So now penalties again, moving the ball back to the Wayne 34-yard line. They've got to get all the way to the Northside 41. Chambers coming back out on the field. Play clock's already down to 8. They're not huddling up. Now they're going to switch to kind of a wildcat. Now we're down to 3. We're down to 2. And we're down to 1. And whistles blow, and Wayne's going to take another timeout. They realized the play clock was about to expire. So with 1:55 remaining in the quarter, 14-3 Redskins. Wayne still with 3rd down coming up. When we return, this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Here's a money-saving tip from Momper, the #1 name in insulation since 1956. Exposed attic ceiling joists and ductwork, or new snow that quickly melts off your roof, means you need to add insulation. We'll fill empty sidewall cavities with insulation, even through masonry, aluminum, or vinyl siding with no unsightly holes. Plus, we'll seal your crawl space with urethane foam for a total insulation package. Call Momper now for a free, no-obligation energy analysis of your home.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Looking at some numbers, courtesy of Aubrey Reichel from the Journal-Gazette. Looks like, if I saw correct, Leo 14-0 over East Noble.
Wow.
And remember, that game's up in Kendallville.
And a lot of people thought East Noble would win that football game. Yeah, so 14-0, Joe, you're correct.
Now, Cameron Chambers wants to throw. The rush is on. He's in trouble, and they're going to sack him back around the 20-yard line. Did not have the time, and Whitner was in the mix to make that tackle, apply the pressure. And Wayne, after a promising start at one point, they had the ball up around midfield, but now they'll have to kick it away with 95 seconds remaining in this quarter.
And it's just challenging because Northside has all their starters on defense are seniors, Joe, except for 2 players. So Northside's senior laden on their defense, going against such a young offense for Wayne.
Bailey's salary's in to punt the ball away. 6 punts for the year, averaging about 31 yards a punt. They were short a man. Jacob Newton trots onto the field. Salary's had a long punt of 51 yards. North with 2 back and punt return at their own 38. They'll run up for the ball. Hits, takes a high bounce inside the 40, down to the 35 and out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So Northside gets the ball back, and they'll be in possession, leading at 14-3.
And you mentioned it, Leo 14, East Noble nothing. So a lot of people thought East Noble would handle that game, with that being a home game. Snyder gets on the scoreboard. Snyder 7, Carroll nothing in the second quarter. Bishop Lures 21, Concordia 14 in the first. First 1-60 wins that game. Homestead 28, Southside 6. We'll get through that one quick. And Dwanger 14-0 over Northrop in the second. So that run game, that fundamental run game for Dwanger and playing good defense seems to be the recipe that works every week, Joe.
It was interesting. I was looking at the rankings between the AP poll and the coaches poll. They're all over the spectrum different. And meanwhile, here's an empty backfield, and Capps gets away from the rush, throws it as far as he can, has a man downfield. The ball is caught. Northside's got it at the 39-yard line. A scramble for the ball, but it's going to be David Johnson who else comes up with the ball. Took it away from 2 Wayne defenders.
David Johnson's a ball player. 5'8", 160, came in with 25 catches for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has a touchdown tonight, and what a play, Joe.
5'8"?
5'8", he jumps triple coverage, 5'8", and he goes up and catches the ball at the highest point.
Logan Snyder in, and that was David Johnson. He was all still jacked up from that fine catch and jumped at about a half count before the ball was snapped. That'll cost him 5.
I got an idea. If we can go the rest of the way without committing a penalty, I'll make a donation to each school's athletic program. What do you say? Can we mention that? Or maybe we'll have a kitty down there with a hat. Whichever team doesn't make the next penalty gets a little donation. What do you say, Joe?
I was going to say your first offer is safe, I think. Here's Caps. Wants to throw. Blitz is coming. Threw it away. Near side. Was he out of the tackle box? Did they? Well, they were looking in the direction of Montrell Moore, so no harm, no foul on that one.
And Moore's just got to get out of his stance faster and get out there. The linemen were down the field. The play was set up, and Moore's just got to move faster on that, because when you're the quarterback on that screen, Joe, you only have so much time with those guys in your face.
You know, you talked about it earlier. Montrell Moore, big kid, he runs hard, but you sense from Ryan Hall's comments as Cap spun around and dropped at the 45, and the might have got a face mask. There's a penalty flag coming in. But about Moore, you sense from Ryan Hall's comments they want him to be energized about all phases of the game.
Yeah.
Blocking, you know, and running out the fakes.
Yeah, and he has to realize that's part of the game, because if you want to play at the next level, if the ball doesn't come to you, you still have to do your job. And I think as good as Montrell is, Montrell loses interest when he's not getting the football. And I think that's what Coach Hall is trying to work out of him right now.
It is a big one against Wayne penalty on the face mask. And that'll take the ball down to the Generals' 30-yard line. So new 1st and 10, final 15 seconds of the quarter coming up. Caps with Moore flanked to his right. And we'll see if they get a play off. We're down to 8 seconds. Caps not looking like he's ready to take a snap right now. And I think we're going to go to the second quarter in this 14-3 ball game, North on top of Wayne. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Russ Isaacs, former head football coach and athletic director at Snyder High School. I can tell you from personal experience that next to winning a championship, nothing compares to receiving a championship ring. The ring is a culmination of high achievement and adds tremendously to a student-athlete's self-esteem.
Take it from the coach. Honor your achieving student-athlete with a championship ring from Signature Style Jewelry. Join the winner's circle. Get a free price quote and your artwork today. Call Todd Oliver, 800-273-8124, extension 3. That's 800-273-8124, extension 3. Write it down, 800-273-8124, extension 3. Or email him at todd@signaturestylegewelry.com. That's Todd at signaturestylegewelry.com. Signature Style Jewelry, the leading online retailer of championship rings, class rings, and fashion jewelry.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Northside will have the ball. They'll move from left to right, facing the south end zone, and they'll have second down and short. They need a yard. Montrell Moore remains the running back for the Redskins. Logan Caps started at quarterback and has been that way all night long. Too wide to the right. Caps rolls to the right side, taking a look. Wants to throw. The fade to the corners. Got David Johnson. Touchdown. David Johnson got a foot in bounds. It'll be a touchdown toss of 31 yards at the 11:51 mark.
And how about Logan Caps' arm on the run? And David Johnson's dominating this game. We talked about David Johnson, 5'8", 160. They cannot cover him. Another big home run for Northside.
And after trailing 3-0 now, the Redskins are a conversion away from scoring the game's next 21 points.
And Johnson is the player that gave Carroll absolute fits.
Caps comes on to attempt the extra point, right-footed kick. End over end is on the way and good. So North out to a 21-3 lead here at Wayne Stadium. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
A trip to downtown Fort Wayne is not complete without a stop at Rudy's at 409 West Brackenridge. Next time you're headed to the baseball game, make pre-game plans to stop in at Rudy's, where you'll find a wide assortment of adult beverages and aromas. But Rudy's is also a premier downtown location for picking up those mouth-watering DeBrand's chocolates. What better way to catch a game at Parkview Field? Make it a date for a stop at Rudy's, right across from the main Parkview Field entrance.
Rudy's!
And now back to the IHS AA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
With Joe Auburn, I'm Joe Parson. Welcome back. Well, things started well enough for Wayne here tonight on homecoming. They got an 81-yard kickoff return to get the ball down to the 16. That would set up a 37-yard field goal by Luke Andrews. Generals were on top 3-0, but now it has been North has answered with 3 touchdowns to lead at 21-3.
And big week, week 5, we're starting to see some of it shake out. We've got the scores early on. Carroll just scored a touchdown to tie up Snyder, so Carroll and Snyder are tied at 7. A surprise to me, again, Leo 14, East Noble nothing. Lures 21, Concordia 14. Homestead's rolling Southside 28-6. Dwangers 14-0 over Northrop. How about New Haven trying to bounce back from that loss last week? They're 19-0 over Norwell. Cherubusco is just laying the wood to Prairie Heights 28-0. And Garrett 14, Eastside nothing.
Javier Johnson is back in the ball game in kick return. They'll squib the ball. It hits up front, and it'll be good field position for Wayne. Hit one of the up front linemen, and he brings it across midfield to the North 49.
Yeah, and that was good heads up by Delta Chapman that time, the 6'1", 190-pound junior.
Good hands, Joe.
Exactly, and when I played, the big guys always yelled Bo Jackson when they got the ball. I don't know what they probably yell now. Jamal Charles maybe, or maybe not after last night, huh?
Doubt
but
that.
Those big guys love it when they get the football and they can run. But that time Chapman was surprised with a good job of getting the ball in and getting some positive yards.
David Marlowe, by the way, stays in, works at center, snapping the ball. 3 wide to the left, the short side. Here is a run, and boy, nothing there whatsoever. Lionel Sorrells came through from the linebacker position, and there's going to be a loss back to the Wayne side of midfield at the 48.
Yeah, and they're blitzing and they're rushing that play. That play has no chance. Wayne is somehow going to have to throw the football to get Northside, to be honest.
All different look offensive line. Now another freshman, Latrell Lapsley, in there. 240-pound, 5'10" freshman, but still a freshman.
Speaking of that game last night, that was a bad beat if you had the Chiefs, man.
It looked good until the last seconds.
No, they were up touchdown with about 3 minutes left. No, Peyton had the magic last night.
Kind of remind me of the Dallas game a little bit.
Yeah.
Here is there was movement, but which way? Chambers was running off to his right side. Might be another procedure call against the Generals, and it will. They have just been bitten.
And I think we're getting to the point they have more penalty yards than total yards. And that's tough. It's tough to go in the locker room at halftime and write that on the chalkboard. I mean, you got to get lined up. You got to be able to hold. And I don't know if it's a confusion over a snap count or what's going on.
Well, it'll be an empty backfield once again. 4 wide to the right. Here's Chambers looking for some running room. Throws the ball in the mix, going up for it, and they've got a catch down there, and I believe that was Fabian Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson, 6'1", 180, the junior, goes up and gets the football. So that time Chambers gives you that run-pass look, Joe, and is able to muscle the ball down the field to Fabian Pearson. So a best play of the night for Wayne.
Tell you what, he was close to the line of scrimmage, but got it away, and on the move had pretty good distance throwing that football. Now they work from the right side hash mark. 1st and 10 from the north side 28-yard line. 10:31 remaining in this first half. Empty backfield again for the freshman, Cameron Chambers. Looks, rolls to his left, the wide side. Looking, being pursued. Tip ball in the air, and that one's going to be intercepted at the north side 30-yard line.
And that was a great pursuit by Northside. The interception on that, Joe, goes to number 52, Marvell Hamilton, the defensive end. And it's just tough for Chambers. I don't want to criticize the play calling, but it's tough as a young quarterback to throw that ball when you're right-handed, to run to your left, and to throw it back across your body, Joe. It takes so much torque in your hips to get anything on that football, and that pursuit for Northside is able to get their hands up, which the defensive players are taught, and Hamilton gets a bingo.
Second interception of the night for the Redskins defensively. Johnson had one, and now Marvell Hamilton with the pick. Here's Montrell Moore. Play action fake. Caps wants to throw the home run ball. Looking down for DeRosier's goes up and couldn't control it. Double coverage, got help coming across. Johnson was back defending for the Wayne Generals and had help from Jeffrey Davis.
Yeah, Javier Johnson comes over and breaks that ball up. But how about Logan Cap's arm? And how about his ability to look off the safety, Joe? You know, so I like what Northside's doing. And, you know, in high school football, you don't have to always complete the long pass. But if you can be a threat, it's going to open up those run lanes. So I really like the play calling of Northside in the first half.
Wayne with two safeties back. Corners also drop back as Caps on second down. Wants to run to the right after the fake handoff and met right at about the 34, maybe the 35-yard line. In pursuit for Wayne was Fabian Pearson once again, and that'll stop it to hold it to a 5-yard gain.
And you can see the talent for Wayne. It's just so raw. But you can see the talent on defense, Joe, and the pursuit and the speed and the athletic ability.
What do they say as a coach? The good thing about freshmen, they become sophomores at some point. There was movement defensively, no harm, no foul. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Play clock is at 6. Caps checks his wristband. Montrell Moore offset behind him to the left. They want to throw the ball again. Low line drive, pass is caught. They had the first down and they'll get it again. After the catch, the run is up to the 45 to the 46-yard line.
David Johnson is a force.
Gave the first down away initially after he caught the quick slant. Retreated, but then plowed straight ahead and got 6 more yards back.
He only goes 5'8", 160, but he seems to play a lot bigger than that.
Oh, you were talking earlier about kids that can play at the next level, and David Johnson is one of those. You know, he will not be on any kind of charts of the big schools because of being 5'8". But how do you measure heart? Cap swirls to the left, cuts inside, got to midfield, a couple yards deep into Wayne territory.
They're just good athletes. You know, Caps goes 5'10", 160. That time he shoves his offensive lineman out of the way to get upfield and get more yardage. So, you know, I like Caps and Johnson would really be worth a look at that slot position at the next level, Joe. You're right. He's not going to get a lot of attention, but he can play.
DeRosier stays in, split wide to the right, 3 wide to the left, the short side of the field movement again, and now a penalty flag as they're which way is it going to go? Wayne's clapping their hands.
It's going to be false start on Northside, and it seems like those false starts are contagious. And I'm watching the head referee, Jerry Parker. I think his back's getting a little stiff, Joe, because he'd been over to pick that flag up that time. He wasn't moving so fast. He didn't know he was going to come out here and do a whole bunch of lunges and deadlifts picking up those flags, did he?
Yeah, those yellow laundry is going to be green, having hit the ground so often here. 2nd down and 9 now after the penalty. Here's Moore, and he's stacked up for a loss. His big number 77, Jock Thomas.
Yeah, Jock Thomas, 6'1", 240. Good feet for a kid that big. Now, that's a kid that should be on some charts the next level because he's got the size and the strength, and I think Jock's still trying to learn his body too, Joe. You take a body like that and get on a program where you deadlift, power clean, squat, and bench press with those big compound movements, and look out, you can create yourself a monster.
Moore comes in motion. There's a deflected ball, but Caps came up with it. Then it's buried. There's another penalty flag near sideline, and I tell you what,
that's number 18 on the night, and that penalty is going to be the offensive line was downfield, Joe. So illegal man downfield. That was supposed to be a pass. Caps juggles the snap. The linemen think it's a screen, so they're running downfield to block.
Personal sideline warning again against Wayne.
Oh, wow.
And I tell you what,
I'm confused because that time that should have been
nobody there.
There was nobody there, and that time the offensive line was 10 yards down the field. So
now we got to be fair about this. They're really getting picky.
They are getting picky.
If somebody's stepping across a line, they're not coming out.
Yeah.
There's a 3-yard, and come on.
And you see that changes the game. That creates a first down on a play where Wayne gets a stop. It's 21-3. You're 18 penalties into the game, and I like Jerry Parker and his crew, but come on now, you got to use your brain now.
That's thin.
You got to be smart now because these kids are battling out there to stay in the game.
You get to the point, Joe, where you're looking to throw flags.
Exactly.
Now second back through. Moore off tackles, got running room, trips forward down inside the 35, rolled down to about the 34-yard line. Joe, we've got a quick moment. One player we've got to talk about, and we'll just mention it quickly because a lot of people have been asking, wondering, where is Austin Robertson? Well, he played the first 2 games of the season and apparently committed a violation of team rules, has not played since. And every question we presented to head coach Derek Moore, the answer is no comment, and that's where we'll leave it tonight. He's not playing. Johnson on a sweep. No, it's a keeper play. They faked the handoff, read option, Caps up, off tackle to the right, did not find much.
And just to clean it up a little bit, I think Coach Moore is doing the right thing to hold the line for his program, but I hope for Austin Robertson's sake, and I like Austin, I hope that things can get cleaned up, because to have a full ride scholarship to Michigan State and to be that talented, I want what's best for Wayne, but I also want what's best for Austin Robertson, and I hope that situation, Joe, can get worked out, because this is his senior season. It's Friday night. He should be out here playing.
Caps, by the way, just needed a yard and got the yard. Now they'll stay in that offset I. They'll reset Whitner at halfback off to the right side. Lead block for Moore. Moore off tackle, bowls his way to the 26-yard line. Got spun around and dropped right there. Wayne playing hard as Damon Marlowe on the stop.
Moore's fun to watch. Moore gets a big head of steam up, and if you don't hit him in the backfield, he's going to run downfield on you. And if he gets tackled after a 7-yard run, he's mad he didn't get 9. He didn't get the football. He's unhappy he didn't get the ball. He's such a competitive kid.
Joe, he's a straight-up runner, too. He doesn't scooch down or anything. He just hits you full-on straight up. They stay in the offset I to the left side. Play action fake, Caps over the middle, dumps it off. Got a catch in traffic. That'll be a gain down to the 15-yard line. And normally that's where David Johnson's lurking.
You were on it, my friend. That's David Johnson again. That time the screen, so David Johnson shows you he can run the deep route, he can take the handoff and run the ball in, and he can make the tough catch over the middle.
Johnson stays in slot right. DeRosier split wide to the right, and Wayne's going to take another timeout. I believe that's their final timeout of this first half. 6:31 remaining. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Wayne 13 for the Redskins. When we return, it's 21-3 North. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
If you are one of the many Hoosiers suffering for years from neck and back pain, we have good news for you. Did you know there are now new non-surgical approaches to easing, reducing, and even eliminating pain in the neck, back, and spine? You are invited to Aaron Chiropractic, located on Fort Wayne's northeast side at College Park just off Delhar Road, to discover a new approach, a new treatment plan for pain relief and pain management. The start to a pain-free lifestyle may be just a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Call Aaron Chiropractic to set up an initial visit. Their number is 260-492-8811. One call. That can mean the return to a life without pain. Aaron Chiropractic.
You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Welcome back, everybody, with Joe Walburn. I'm Joe Parson. Next Friday night, we'll be over at New Haven. The Bulldogs in Northeast 8 action will host the Columbia City Eagles.
And is it Bob Morris who's going to pop in the broadcast?
Bob Morris is going to step in.
How cool is that, man? Bob Morris from Health Kick. Can you talk about nutrition?
Correct.
Yeah,
there you go.
You want to get a good workout and know what to put back in your body? That's the guy you want to talk to.
1st and 10 for the Redskins on the move once again, leading at 21-3. Caps has gone all the way at quarterback. Hands it off. Whitner off tackle the left side, looking for the end zone. Wow. Touchdown. 13-yard scamper off tackle to the left. Tyson Whitner to the house.
And he looked strong running that football that time. Nice down block again by the Northside offensive line. The tackles that time, Evan Clark and Marvin Williams, did a nice job. But Northside just rolls over Wayne that time. And now it's becoming woodshed time, Joe.
Caps will attempt the extra point, looking for the 28th point of the first half. Remember, North trailed early on 3-0. They've now are a conversion away from 28 unanswered points. Endover and Quick is on the way, and it is good. So, 28-3 with a stoppage here at Wayne Stadium. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins. Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tire, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tire, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHS AA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
A lot coming up tonight on Fox Sports at halftime. It's homecoming here at Wayne Stadium. We'll have our halftime interview with Christine Sorg, who's a registered dietitian with Parkview Sports Medicine. Also, we'll get some observations at the half later on from Aubrey Reichel from the Journal-Gazette.
It's awesome, your sponsors this year, Parkview, Meyer, Jefferson Point.
Been very fortunate.
It's awesome to see some of the biggies in town step up and sponsor high school football.
Including a young company by the name of Wallenberg Financial Management.
Absolutely.
Here's a bounding ball that comes back to Javier Johnson. Johnson cuts up the middle and got across the 30 to the 32. Started out the ball game with spectacular return, 81 yards to the 16-yard line, and gave them a chance for the Generals to get on the board. And young kicker got a 37-yard field goal to go through, and Wayne had the early 3-0 lead. Feeling good about themselves, Joe Auburn, but North has had their say since.
Yeah, you know, we talked about 4 freshmen. Ended up being 5 freshmen starting on offense for Wayne. So, you know, it's an opportunity now maybe to settle down, try to move the ball a little bit before a halftime. And quick update, too, with these scores, Joe. Leo 21, East Noble nothing. So, wow. Talk about a surprise out there in Kendallville.
Craig Young, they're going to flip-flop him now from the right side to the left, listed as a tight end. Now they were short a man. Play clock is down to 7, and they'll bring in the new running back, and that's Terrence Friesen.
Official timeout that time with and Wayne's fortunate that the receiver out there had a issue with his equipment, Joe, because they were headed for I don't think they were going to get that one off.
Now they're going to reset the play clock, so it resets to 25 and runs again. 6:15 remaining in the first half. Cameron Chambers has gone all the way tonight and is a prize start at quarterback as a freshman. Empty backfield again. Blitz coming defensive left side. Quick screen near side. That is caught, and it'll run across the 25 out of bounds. Ball is caught by
Craig Young that time, and I like it, Joe. I mean, it's not a big gainer, but I like it. Chambers zips the ball out to Young that time, and it's a positive play.
I got to tell you, I froze on it because the way they tucked the pants in, it looked like number 9 out there. That's Austin Robertson's number, and that can't be happening because he still remains under team suspension.
Yeah, I don't think he snuck in the locker room a guy's jersey. I don't think Coach Moore would like him, but, you know, it's now you get a penalty on Northside, so that's going to give Wayne some more yardage on that play. I think that was a late hit on the sideline, and that's why we had a moment of confusion down there. So, you know, we talked about the penalties for Wayne. I'm not happy if I'm Coach Hall because Northside's right behind him with the penalties.
Yeah, it's like you said it earlier, it's almost contagious. Now David Johnson is late getting off the field, but the play clock has not started. Penalty moves the ball to the Northside 49-yard line. So Wayne has got some good field position to work with. Let's see if the young freshman can do anything with it, though. 28-3, Redskins on top here. Cameron Chambers, empty backfield, 4 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Looks out of the gun, loads up, throws the out. That's a ball caught, and that was Pearson again. Pearson forward progress down to about the 47-yard line. That ball kind of sailed a little bit off the hand of Chambers.
Yeah, Chambers had to kind of muscle that out there. He's still working on his throwing motion, but I like it that Wayne's throwing the football. At least it backs Northside off and gives Northside to think about. So if you can throw it just a little bit and be somewhat of a threat, you can come back and run the ball then.
That keeps the clock moving. It'll be officially a pickup of about 2. Let's call it 2nd down and 8. Long 8 at the 5:30 mark. Young stays in, split wide to the right, the short side of the field. 4 wide to the left. And Chambers all by himself back there. Blitz coming for Northside once again. Here's Chambers trying to scramble to his right. Turns the corner at the 45 to the 40. Looks like he's got a first down.
Yeah, and that's the athletic ability. He gets the opening, and you see how he can scoot down the field, Joe. That's why he's back there at quarterback. Coach Moore sees that athletic ability. We'll work on throwing the football, but when you can move like that, and only a freshman.
I want to give him credit, too. It looked like he picked up the blitz coming from the defensive right side and ran to the right offensive side away from it.
I mean, 15 years old, and he's playing in the varsity football game. I can imagine. You know, I was able to start the end of my sophomore year, and at times it was overwhelming. I mean, the speed of the game and the size of the guys. I couldn't imagine coming out here as a freshman. I mean, last year he was at Miami Middle School.
He did not pick up the first down. He's short by about a half a yard, so it's third down and short. He'll roll to the left, wants to throw, looking, throws, sets his feet, throws it downfield. He's got a man. That's a catch at the 1. Didn't get into the end zone, but that was Pearson, Fabian Pearson. It'll be first and goal at the 1 yard line for Wayne at the 4:59 mark.
And that time he shows you a better arm. He's able to turn those shoulders. Again, it's a play to the left, but he gets those shoulders turned and muscles that ball down there. And how about Pearson? I thought Pearson misplayed the ball at first. Then he had to come back and dive and make the catch, and he rolled in the end zone. I thought they might just give him a touchdown on that, Joe. But
Joe, what do we know? I thought 3rd and 1. Well, they probably want to pick up the first down first, then think about going to the end zone. Not necessarily.
It's not the prettiest, but if you can throw the football, it's the great equalizer of the game of football.
Now Young stays in. He's tight to the right side, and they've got the offset eye to the left side. And let's see, now there's all kind of movement and a bad snap as well. Penalty flag is thrown. The play never happened. Procedure against Wayne, and that had problems from the get-go.
It didn't make sense because Andy Roth was in the backfield. He was pushing the quarterback, Cameron Chambers, forward. I don't know if Roth was going to get the snap that time, but you don't see a tailback push the quarterback around the backfield like that. So everything was wrong on that. That's one of those on the chalkboard. You just draw a big line across it and let's start again. There's got to be something else in the playbook, right?
Yeah, they had the power lineup in, but that one was going nowhere. Jeffrey Davis now into the ball game. And let's see, Devonair Kelsaw. Really have not seen him featured running the ball. And they're going to bring in Andy Roth. Now Kelsaw is in motion. Here's a pitch to him on the right, and that's a bad pitch, and it's a free ball. Still a scramble for it. Northside's got it. With a return, they've got a chance to score up the midfield. And that'll take it inside the 25 to the 20. And they will not get a touchdown, or do they? It'll be down at the 1 yard line. So Northside does not get into the end zone.
The play never had a chance from the beginning. Wayne ran a play where they wanted to run a pitch all the way out to the slot back. There's no way Chambers, Joe, can turn and make that pitch. The pitch was short. Wayne's receiver fumbled the ball, and was it Lyman that picked it up? Lyman. Wow, Lyman had a long run, and Lyman got tackled at the 1. He's frustrated, beating on his pads. He wanted to put that in the end zone, but that's just a shame for Wayne because it's such a sudden turn of events. You go, I mean, that's going to be possibly a 14-point swing, Joe.
Just like that, Wayne went from having it at the North 1. Now the Redskins got it at the Wayne 1. First and goal, and Wayne is players late coming onto the field. So Caps with Moore offset flank to the left. They'll give it to Montrell Moore, trying to get into the end zone, and he does. Officially, it'll be after the fumble recovery to the Wayne 1 yard line. Montrell Moore on the next play. Snap from scrimmage. Montrell Moore from a yard out at the 3:41 mark.
And it's a shame because Wayne really had a good drive that time. And Chambers was building up his confidence with those throws. And to fumble that ball away at the 1 like that, you hate to. It's easy to sit up here and criticize the play calling, but from 1 yard, man, if you could have maybe just punched it over with Chambers instead of running a toss sweep like that. But give Northside credit. They break the play down and make the big recovery and the return.
Caps with a right-footed kick on the way, end over end, and it is good. So Northside, instead of seeing maybe the game tighten a little bit to 28-10, instead it's now 35-3. Redskins on top, and this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
So, That's the word you expect to hear when selling a home. And Rick Whitman from Century 21 Bradley can give you and your family the advice, expertise, and satisfaction to fit your needs when buying or selling a home. With Rick Whitman's nearly 40 years of can-do experience, you'll find an effective method to accomplish your goals, select the proper loan, and feel the comfort of your new home. When you think real estate, think Rick Whitman at Century 21 Bradley. Call 260-704-6565. Be sure to ask for Rick.
And now back to the IHS AA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, the Redskins came in perhaps a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They lost twice to Wayne a year ago, 35-34 here on September the 12th, and then 40-35 here in the sectionals. And Wayne took an early 3-0 lead, but since then it has been Northside with 35 unanswered points.
And around the area, heading to halftime, Leo 21, East Noble nothing. Starting the third quarter, Carroll 7, Snyder 7. Bishop Lures 21, Concordia 14. Homestead 35, Southside 6 at the half. Dwenger 29, Northrop 7 at the half. And New Haven 19, Norwell nothing.
Johnson turning the corner across the 25. Penalty flag in the middle of the field. Comes to midfield. 45, 40, 35. But they're just going to let him run. Javier Johnson to the house for a touchdown apparently. But we also have an injured Northside player, and I believe it's coming back.
This has got to be the strangest game I have ever seen. Have you ever seen a kid run the kickoff back where the last two defenders stopped? Have you ever seen that? So I guess they were just that sure that the penalty is going to be on Wayne.
You better be.
It better be, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to go to the sideline. You might as well go out to that Fort Wayne Community School bus and sit on the bus, because I'm not going over and talking to Ryan Hall after that. So I guess it is on Wayne, which is a shame, because that's number 20 penalty of the game, and we are definitely headed for a record. There's no doubt about that. Another big return comes back, but
that was Dyrese Howard that was injured on the play, but he did get up and run off the field. But how about Javier Johnson? Returned the opening kickoff 81 yards, set up a field goal, and he thought he had a kick return touchdown on this play, but it's coming back.
And Derek Moore is smiling down there with the referees, and I didn't see it. I don't know. I mean,
it came quick, I will say that.
Did it come quick? Okay, well.
As soon as he turned the corner there at about the 25, 30-yard line, the flag came in instantly. And Howard did go down.
And I see the AD, the Wayne AD's down there complaining about that. I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
The sideline warnings are the ones that bother me more than anything.
Yeah.
Because that's a little thin.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Wayne can move the ball here.
We're down to 3:21 time remaining in the first half, 35-3. By the way, Jerry Parker came over to talk to Derek Moore as well.
Yeah, they're trying to get the situation calmed down, and if I'm Jerry, I probably hold those flags a little bit going forward unless it's something blatant.
Now a little motion for the Generals as Jeffrey Davis. They're going to reposition him up on the slot to the right side. And there was a penalty flag again, and keep the tally running on yellow flag penalties procedure once again against Wayne.
Well, you saw an exciting one last Saturday night, and your quarterback was the player of the week, wasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of people were headed to the exits when it was 48-7. They were wrong. took a defensive interception in the final moments to hold off St. Francis with a win, 48-42.
48-7. Oh man! Wow, what a comeback, huh?
I'll be interested to hear what Coach Donnelly's got to say about that one tomorrow.
Oh, man, good thing they held him off, or you wouldn't want to be talking to Coach Donnelly.
Fabian Pearson's made a nice catch. In fact, set him up at the 1. He's wide to the left, but a little counter run, some running room across the 15. The carry will be up about the 18-yard line, maybe the 19.
This is where you want to teach if you're Coach Moore. You know, you want to teach the fundamentals and keep the kids playing hard. And as far as, the penalties aside, Northside looks pretty good tonight, Joe. They really do. They're playing hard. I like their front. I think Logan Capps has stepped up at the quarterback position. We are really looking forward to seeing Yavis, but, Capps is the athlete, and he steps up.
Ryan Hall said, they were looking to get some different looks, some creativity. And it's worked. Blitz coming defensive right side, and they've got Chambers again sacked back inside the 10-yard line. Blitz was coming defensive right side. Lionel Sorrells was pouring through there.
Yeah, Sorrells is tough, and we mentioned Williams, Brown, Hamilton. Northside has 9 senior starters on defense, so lots of experience out there, and really a lot of mismatches when you line them up against the Wayne youth.
Well, Joe's getting ready. He'll be heading down to chat with Ryan Hall. It'll be interesting to hear the ups and the downs with some of the penalties, but getting 35 points on the board has got to be a big plus for the Redskins after losing to Dwenger last week, 29-13. Right now, the defense for Northside kind of imposing its will. It'll be 3rd down and very long. Wayne would have to get out to their own 32-yard line to convert. Chambers drops the throw, throws it as far as he can, and the ball is going to be either intercepted or knocked down. The intended receiver is Craig Young out there, and it is ruled an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th down. So that'll stop the clock with 1:39, and Wayne will have to punt the ball away. Bailey Salary will come into the game. Has had a long punt this year, 51 yards. He will wait about 1 yard deep for the snap, right about the goal line. He'll step into it. North dropping David Johnson back just about to midfield.
They're not kicking it 40 yards.
Now Salary moves another yard deeper into the end zone, waiting for the snap. Got a good one. Steps into the kick. It's blocked right at the line of scrimmage. Picked up at the 6. It's kicked into the end zone. And diving for it. Let's see if they rule this a Northside touchdown, and they do. So the block kick produces points on the board. Want to make sure I get the number right. I believe that was Lionel Sorrells that came up with that ball for the touchdown, and now there is a penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct against Northside. I believe the touchdown will stand up. That'll make it 41-3 with 1:27 remaining. Now referee Jerry Parker with Derek Moore and some of his players gathered around him trying to explain what that call is all about and what the enforcement is going to result in. A lot of penalties, especially against Wayne, but also both ways. Joe Walburn talking earlier, Wayne actually starting 5 freshmen tonight, and at times it has looked very much like that, but they've had some skilled people out there making some plays, positive plays for the Generals. They've just not been able to get it into the end zone. Now Jerry Parker's going to go over and chat with Ryan Hall across the way.
Let's play football. Talk about it after the game.
Well, fans getting a little bit anxious with the game that's because of the penalties has drug on here in the first half. We still have minute 27 on the clock. And we'll see if that penalty is going to be enforced on the ensuing kickoff coming up. Right now it's 41-3. And Caps will attempt the extra point. David Johnson, the holder, right-footed kick is on the way. Got plenty of leg into it, and it is good. So North adds a point, 42-3. Let the Redskin lead. We'll step out. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Before me is no ordinary potato. It is a potato among potatoes. A flavorful spud naturally grown and lovingly harvested for one special purpose, to become McDonald's world-famous fries.
Now for $2.50, get small fries paired with a double cheeseburger, a filet-of-fish sandwich, a crispy or grilled chicken ranch snack wrap, or a 6-piece chicken McNuggets. Choose one of your favorite fries with that combos for just $2.50 today at McDonald's. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHS AA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Northside will kick off the ball from left to right, but meanwhile, before they come out, they'll mark off the 15-yard penalty. That'll take the ball back to the 25. Wayne not really expecting a deep kick after that opening kickoff to Javier Johnson. They returned down to the Northside 16. They've been squibbing the ball. Devonair Kelsall is back deep at the 30. Javier Johnson also back with him, but he's moving up now to the 35. And we will see what North elects to do now. Kicking off from their own 25-yard line after the penalty enforcement. And again, it'll be a line drive kick. Johnson fields at the 30. Cuts the 35 to his left, 40. Trying to get outside. Nice move back in and lost the helmet. Got to the 45-yard line, another yard maybe to the 46. That is a Wayne helmet that came off of Javier Johnson. Took a big hit, but pops to his feet. He's going to be okay. So Wayne will have very good field position now with just 1:14 on the clock. No timeouts remaining. And they'd love to get something big here in the hurry to salvage a little bit of this first half that shows North on top at 42-3. Redskins, they're at Northrop next Friday night. Generals also on the road. They'll be at Concordia, playing at Zollner Stadium. Cameron Chambers under center right now, and looking, they will just keep the ball straight ahead. Not much there. In fact, lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tristan Purnell checked into the backfield for blocking purposes for the Wayne Generals. That'll keep the clock moving now. We're inside of 1 minute. Time remaining in the first half. Again, Joe Walburn will be on the far sidelines checking in with Ryan Hall to get his assessment of this first half. Andy Roth stays in, the lone wide out to the left. Got a slot man off on the wing to the right side. And Chambers looking, hands it to the first back through. Here's a run to the right. That was a handoff, as we mentioned, to Purnell. Purnell got it only to the 40, just across the 45-yard line. And I do not believe they're going to get another play off here before the end of this first half. So both teams will head to the dressing rooms. The final 10 seconds will tick away. And after trailing 3-0 in the early going, the Northside Redskins have put up 42 unanswered points on the board to lead here on homecoming over the Wayne Generals at 42-3. And we'll check in when Joe Walburn is ready with Coach Ryan Hall. When he locates him, we'll get his first half comments coming up here. Also, Coach Hall.
Joe, I'm down here with Coach Hall. Coach, Logan Capps and David Johnson have a great first half for you, and you guys seem to really be clicking on all cylinders.
Oh, yeah, it was fun. I mean, we kind of needed a game like this. We started Capps at quarterback. Montrell Moore ran hard, We created turnovers, too, and that's what I'm happy about with our defense. But David Johnson, some of those catches he made and runs, I mean, the kid's 150 pounds, and he just keeps on going and going. So we played pretty well, but it's fun. This is what our kids kind of needed.
Yeah, you needed it because it seems like this year you guys have been up, or down. You guys have been the team that we've all watched in the conference where we're like, wow, you know, they can beat anybody at any given time. But I also think it helps you, too, to have those 9 defensive starters on defense. I mean, excuse me, those senior starters. It makes a big difference when you're playing a young team like this.
Yeah, we're able to put pressure on them. Those seniors, you're absolutely right. The same thing you guys as media people say, we say it as coaches. We're like, how can you win a game and then lose a game? We look good, we look bad, we look good, we look bad. And we got some seniors, so you would think the sense of urgency, they would understand it. But they just, I don't know, we're looking to play our best game. We played a pretty good half here, but we haven't played a great game yet. You know, we played a great fourth quarter against Carroll, and that gave us all our publicity right there to win that one. But it was, we're just looking for a full game.
Well, good luck in the second half. It's exciting because really the sky's the limit. So good luck, Coach. Good to see you. That's Coach Hall, another great coach in the area, Joe. Pumped up about the first half. But you heard him, Joe. He's trying to find that mix with this team to where they can be consistent every Friday night.
No question about it. Joe Auburn with head coach Ryan Hall at halftime. 42-3 Redskins on top of Wayne. It's homecoming. We've had extended facilities here at halftime, so we'll be coming back with more. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. And by the way, when we do come back to Wayne Stadium, we'll have that special interview with Christine Sorg, the registered dietitian from Parkview Sports Medicine. You're going to learn a lot of important things and useful information about adding nutrition to your athletic training. All that and much more coming up. Aubrey Reichel as well a little later on at halftime on homecoming here at Wayne High School. 42-3 our halftime score. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
I like things fast. That's why I like roller coasters, guitar solos, and race cars. That's also why I love Fios Internet from Frontier. Now with 1 year of Amazon Prime. I use blazing fast Fios Internet to get instant access to Amazon Prime movies and TV shows. Plus, I get unlimited photo storage, music, and Kindle books. And you can't beat free 2-day shipping.
Get Fios Internet from Frontier for $24.99 per month with qualifying phone service and 1 year agreements on new Internet service, and get 1 year of Amazon Prime. Call 1-888-FRONTIER.
Oh, yeah. Life in the fast lane.
Get Fios Internet for $24.99 per month with 30 megabits per second upload and download speed, and get 1 year of Amazon Prime included. Call 1-888-FRONTIER. Limited time offer for qualifying services. Taxes, fees, and other restrictions apply. 1 year of Amazon Prime service included with 1 year agreement on new Internet service. A maximum $100 early termination fee applies. Subject to availability. Fios Marks owned by Verizon Trademark Services, LLC, and used under license.
The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're aspiring pro or recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sports-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team.
Satisfied with your bank? Have you considered a credit union? Midwest America offers about any service you need. The convenience of free mobile banking, debit cards, ATMs, free online banking and bill payer, competitive loans, mortgages, and more. Deposits insured to $500,000. Hey, consider this an invitation. Your next bank should be a credit union. Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Did you know the IRS tax code now consists of nearly 80,000 pages of rules and regulations? It's enough to make you cry. But now there's real affordable help right here in Fort Wayne. Walburn Financial Management, a firm that cuts right through the legalese, working hard for you, providing external solutions to bookkeeping and tax problems. Walburn Financial Management, taking flawless care of all your personal reporting, P&L, or even individual tax requirements. Give them a call, 260-459-2240. You'll sleep better at night being assured everything's taken care of. Walburn Financial Management. The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management. Stifel can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989. And now, back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
And we are back. It's halftime and want to talk about one of my most favorite subjects, and that is food. And to be more proper and precise. Let's talk about nutrition as it relates to sports training. And joining us right now is Christine Sorg, who's a registered dietitian here at Parkview Sports Medicine. And Christine, I got to talk to you first about your background and the influences in your career that led you to this area that we call sports nutrition. How did this all come about?
Okay, sure. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and so 6 kids in the household, you have to have something to do. So I became very active as a young child. I have a sibling very close in age. We became very competitive. Grew up playing sports. I was able to be pretty active in all sports throughout the seasons, throughout the youth, and then I was able to play soccer, basketball, and track in high school. I had an opportunity to play soccer or run track at the collegiate level, and actually made the decision there to actually go on to Purdue University and study dietetics. I knew nutrition had to have played a big role in how I was performing in my sports, and I felt it was important to kind of take that path, but still exercise recreationally. So I switched over to running as my kind of sport of choice, and hoped to learn enough to be where I'm at today. So.
Go Boilers. You know, I'm kind of old school, and I go back to a time where, you know, athletes, I think there was an understanding that, hey, you got to stay away from the late night pizzas and the greasy foods and the fried foods and things like that. And the emphasis back in the day was more on, well, exercise, weight training, and maybe getting some proper rest. But the introduction of sports nutrition is relatively new, isn't it? How did all that come about?
I think it's just a matter of athletes coming into practice and games feeling fatigued, headaches, not sure what's going on, seeing lots of injuries. Fall season's coming up and you're worried about their immune systems, and a lot of research and studies start to come about as far as how, you know, what else can I do? Like you said, you mentioned weight training and rest and things like that. Well, there has to be another component, because that doesn't always get the job done. So I think, you know, people started to get smart and learn that nutrition is probably that key factor to get them to the end of their season and still feel, you know, at their optimal performance.
I had mentioned earlier that I'd gone back and looked at a couple of your presentations, and one of the things that really caught my eye was the fact of getting the athlete to buy into proper sports nutrition. And I was interested because there were some focus groups and some surveys that you had conducted where the athletes, you know, in their self-introspection, you know, they thought they were doing real well with their eating habits. Hey, I'm doing real well. But when they really applied the measuring stick, they didn't fare so well. And that is part of the key, isn't it? Getting them to recognize how nutrition is an important part of training.
Yes, definitely. I think, and with my position, if I see athletes one-on-one, one of the things I have them do is a 3-day food record, and I can use that as a prime example. Well, you think you're doing well, but let's take a look actually at what you eat, you know, just on the past 3 days. And it's really eye-opening what these athletes see that they're doing versus the recommendations that I'm able to give them, and then follow up with them down the road. Timing with nutrition is extremely important. Pre and post practice, pre and post games, you know, is it on season? Is it off season? Are you trying to lose weight, trying to gain weight? So they really do need to buy into certain things, like eating breakfast is, you know, one of the biggest meals of the day. And a lot of athletes, younger athletes especially, might be eating breakfast, but it's what type of breakfast are they eating? Athletes in high school, they might have lunch at 10 o'clock in the morning. They're practicing at 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon. And where are they getting their foods in there? And they still might think that they're doing okay because they had lunch, but really we need to try to fit in a snack pre-practice, pre-exercise for them, and then they start to realize how much better they feel as the season goes on. They're not drained, they're not you know, in with the physical therapist with injuries. So if we can show them that, then they'll realize how important it is.
Let's break it down a little bit further, because every male or female athlete that walks in the door presents a different set of circumstances. You know, an offensive football lineman is maybe interested in building up bulk and mass and doing it safely, whereas a distance runner might be more interested in endurance, stamina. So talk about carbohydrates, proteins, how you balance it all. Hydration, I know, is an important part of this too.
Okay, yeah. As far as a lineman versus a long distance runner, it's calories in versus calories out to either maintain their weight or weight gain. So the lineman might need a little bit more carbohydrates to help with the weight gain, whereas that long distance runner is just trying to fuel their races throughout the regular season. Again, timing's important. What is it off season? If so, let's try to gain weight in a healthy way. That's when we would want to increase in the carbohydrates, do moderate protein, and then choose healthy fats for that lineman. Make sure he's gaining the muscle mass, make sure he's able to be quick off that line, compared to that long distance runner who needs a little bit more of a leaner build, is using those slow twitch muscle fibers. So carbohydrates are still important, but again, it's the time of the year. Are they in training for that marathon, or have they just finished, and are we really cutting back on the calories for them?
Let's take it right from day one. Somebody makes an appointment with you, and we'll give that number. It's 466-2007, 466-2007. But you really don't know a lot about them. You know they're in athletic training, and talk about how you deal with the individual when they walk in the door, not really realizing what their background or what their goals are. How do you deal with that?
Okay, first we really need to start with an assessment. 3-day food recall, like I had said, heights and weights. If they are interested in seeing physical therapy, they can do a biomechanical assessment with them. They can be a part of the AWP program, or they might do speed assessments, or they could possibly have that information already prepared for me to go over. And then we kind of set a goal. What is it that they're looking for, whether it's weight gain, weight loss. I encourage 3 types of goals: performance, and composition, and then what's their overall healthy goal. Because in general, whether you're the seasoned athlete or you're a senior just trying to stay in shape, there's always kind of a well-rounded healthy goal that I really appreciate that they have. And then kind of go through the goals. After the goals are set, put that action plan in as far as a meal plan for them, calories that they need to take in on a daily basis, and then finally evaluate and reassess. So I like to see them back and evaluate on their goals.
Some great tips, some great information from Christine Sorg, who's a registered dietitian here at Parkview Sports Medicine. That number again, to get more information, 466-2007. So if you're an aspiring young athlete or just anyone looking to maintain fitness, Parkview Sports Medicine can help. Now let's get back to more of our high school football halftime on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Savvy sports fans in the Summit City go when they need to know more than just the score? It's an easy choice. No other media outlet covers the local sports scene like the Journal-Gazette. You get 7-day sideline coverage from the area's most experienced and knowledgeable sports staff. It's a commitment to Fort Wayne that the Journal-Gazette takes very seriously. When you need to know the story behind the story, nobody delivers the good each morning like the Journal-Gazette. And even when you're on the go, you can still catch up on the latest sports news online at www.journalgazette.net or from your mobile device at www.jgmobile.net. Start your sports day right, every day, 7 days a week with the Journal-Gazette.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses like yours with their visual communications. We ask the right questions, recommend smart solutions, and help you build your business. Our knowledgeable consultants uncover your communication challenges and provide visible solutions. At Fast Signs, we're innovators, planners, and designers. We're more than fast, more than signs, and we're more than ready to help. Contact Fast Signs today.
Text the word FAST SIGNS to 90407 to receive sales and discounts. Miss a great high school game recently? Or simply want to revisit that game-changing electric play that turned everything all around? Well, now there's a great new opportunity to do just that. Catch all the exciting action of our live radio broadcast simply by visiting SummitCitySports.com after game broadcast. Plus, many other high school sports highlights to choose from as well. It's all new and available now at SummitCitySports.com.
Hi, Charlie Momper here from Momper Insulation. It's never too late to add insulation. You'll be amazed at the results when our Momper professionals retrofit your walls and attics with high-quality insulation. When we're finished, you'll stay warmer and hopefully save money on your heating bills as well. Momper, the #1 name in insulation since 1956. Call today at 432-7543.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHS AA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Halftime on homecoming here at Wayne Stadium as the Generals. Things started well enough. They got off to a 3-0 lead on a 37-yard field goal by young Luke Andrews. But Northside has responded with 42 unanswered points. They lead at 42-3 here at halftime. And joining us from the Journal-Gazette is Aubrey Reichel. And you know, it kind of caught everybody's surprise, I guess, a little bit, starting young Cameron Chambers, a young freshman quarterback for the Wayne Generals, rather than Jonas Thatcher. We've not seen him so far tonight, and he's shown some flourishes at times. The young freshman, but a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties for Wayne, and they are definitely, Aubrey, paying their dues here tonight.
Definitely. Between both teams, I've counted about 22 penalties for both of them. Wayne seems to be getting definitely the brunt of it. You've seen some good things, though, from the Generals, but just not at once. It's been few and far between, and nothing to make a difference besides that initial field goal.
And even when they get a great play, I think most recently they had the ball and a great catch down to the 1-yard line, and then suddenly they find a way to self-destruct and give it back to North. The North ended up at the 1-yard, at the other end, ready to score just a play later. So it's been that kind of a night for Wayne. I want to address an issue because I know you're here for other purpose, and you know, our question coming in, we thought that we might see the possibility of Austin Robertson, the Michigan State recruit for football, playing tonight for Wayne. That is not the case. He is still on suspension because of violation of team rules. That's the word we had received. And any update information you've received from Gary Raber, the athletic director?
Not at all. I talked to him at the beginning of halftime, and every question I said, it was just a violation of team rules. No word on how long the suspension will last, the nature of what the violation was, or anything like that.
Yeah, and I guess you wouldn't expect them necessarily to go into details, but I even put it that way when I talked to Coach Derek Moore before the start of the game. I said, is this a week-to-week assessment? And again, what I got was no comment when it came to Austin Robertson. Coach Moore said, I'm concerned about the guys we have playing here tonight. So that will leave that the way it is. But looking at Wayne, it's kind of baptism of fire. They started 5 freshmen tonight, 2 sophomores, and you can see, you know, Derek Moore talked about, we came in here before the Keon and Dion Powers brothers really did their thing for several years. It was a rebuilding mode for Wayne then. They're kind of reset everything back to that time. They're willing to play the young kids now to build for the future.
I think that's kind of a good way to approach it at this point in the season. I mean, they're still looking for their first win, and I think eventually once those younger kids have that experience and get up to the speed of the game, that it'll come. It's just a matter of time. It's
going to be tough, though, between now and that point in the future.
It very much is. They've already played Southside, and then the rest of the conference is very strong this year.
Aubrey Reichel from the Journal-Gazette joining us here at halftime. We'll look for your article tomorrow morning. I don't know you have much more to say about the Austin Robertson situation than you picked up here tonight, but you're here trying.
Yep. And it's not a bad game to cover either.
It is not. Yep. And it's a great night so far. We'll hope the rain stays away. 42-3 here at the half. Teams coming out for their halftime warm-ups. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. This is IHSAA Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Behind the scenes of the making of a great play area.
I'm envisioning something really spectacular, something over the top. Let's draw up some plans.
Yes, JP.
Right away, JP. Excellent idea. Bold move, JP. We'll get right on it.
I see a large fort with a giant cannon to slide down. Let's make it historic. Tie it in with the history of Fort Wayne. And we gotta have it soft so kids of all ages can play. Let's have those blueprints on my desk by Monday morning.
Jefferson Point and Lutheran Children's Hospital ER presents Fort Wayne's largest indoor soft play area. Parents can relax while the kids explore a fort, slide down a cannon, and crawl through the 16-foot cherry blossom tree. Over 2,000 square feet of indoor play area, the largest retail play area in the state of Indiana. Bring the kids and enjoy the fun at Jefferson Point. For details, go to jeffersonshopping.com.
There's so much to see. It's where you want to be. Jefferson Point, Jefferson Point.
Next time you're downtown and needing to feed your sweet tooth, you're just a few steps away from Rudy's, Fort Wayne's perfect location for stocking up on those famous to brands gourmet chocolates the Summit City is famous for. Rudy's is located just catty corner from the main entrance to Parkview Field. In fact, Rudy's is a great place to meet up with friends before an event at the ballpark. There's even outside patio seating, ideal for relaxing after work. With a wide assortment of adult beverages and aromas to choose from as well, Rudy's, distinctly different in downtown Fort Wayne.
Trust the doctors at the IPFW Athletics and the Fort Wayne Comets Trust. Aaron Chiropractic is well known for providing quality yet cost-effective care for sports injuries, muscle, or joint problems. They're one of the only clinics in the region to provide its patients with pain relief utilizing numerous therapies, including acupuncture, massage, and rehabilitation. Aaron Chiropractic is conveniently located in Northeast Fort Wayne. Find us on the web at aaronchiro.com or call 492-8811 to schedule an appointment.
And now back to the IHS AA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Teams conducting their warm-ups now. We're at halftime on this homecoming extended halftime weekend for the Generals. Wayne got off to a great start on a 37-yard booming field goal by Luke Andrews at the 10:35 mark. That was set up by Javier Johnson. Kickoff return that took the ball down to the Northside 16 on the game's first kickoff. But from then on, it was all Northside, and in particular, Logan Capsey ran it in from 2 yards out at the 7:45 mark as Northside took a 7-3 lead after an interception by David Johnson. Johnson on a sweep took the ball in from 2 yards out at the 4:54 mark. It was 14-3 in favor of North at the end of the first quarter. Caps to Johnson, good for 31 yards and a touchdown. And then a Marvell Hamilton interception at the Northside 29 gave the Redskins the ball back. That would set up a 13-yard Tyson Whitner touchdown run at the 6:23 mark. Fumble recovery at the Wayne 1, and that would set up Montrell Moore from a yard out, 3:41 at the time of the score. And then a block punt late in the first half. Sorrells, I should say, chased it down in the end zone, fell on it for the recovery touchdown at the 1:27 mark. And Joe, that's where we are right now, 42-3. Northside capitalizing on a young Wayne night of mistakes.
And some other scores around the area, Joe. Leo 21, East Noble nothing in the third quarter. So we were surprised by that. There's a lightning delay out at Spiller Stadium, we're told. Right now in the third quarter, Snyder 14, Carroll 7. Bishop Lures 28, Concordia 21, so that one's tightened up. Homestead 47, Southside 6 in the third quarter. Dwenger rolling Northrop. This one surprised me. I thought this would be a little bit closer. Dwenger 36, Northrop 7. New Haven getting on the right side night. New Haven 19, Norwell nothing. Cherubusco 42, Prairie Heights nothing. Garrett 28, and Eastside nothing. So those are some of the scores around the area. We'll see if the weather's going to be a factor in some of the games as they move into the second half. But as far as the first half, you heard Coach Hall. They need a game like this. Northside capitalized on the turnovers, and we didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Moore, but if you talk to him, he would just simply say, we have to execute and cut the turnovers out and be able to make the tackles on the defense.
And avoid the penalties, especially the procedure calls with this young team. Teams are out there. They're ready to go, and I believe they're aware of maybe the threatening potential for some weather coming down the pike, and looks like they're going to let the final seconds tick away here, the warm-ups, and it'll be Wayne kicking away. They won the toss. They wanted the ball, and that paid off with that early 3-0 lead. They'll kick away now to start the second half from left to right, and Northside will have the ball first, and let's see if it's going to be Dave Johnson back there, as he had one kickoff last week for 23 yards, and here we go. We're underway, high end over end, and this is fielded near side at the 20. It's bobbled for a moment, and that's a return right side. Not much daylight there as Brashawn Lockett was back in kick return and maybe got it out to the 21. That is all, but Northside on top 42-3 as we start the second half.
It's interesting because next week, Joe, Northside has Northrop, so they'll travel to Spiller Stadium. That's a big game when you're 3-2, and that's a game Northrop will be hungry for. Then you come home and host Snyder, which obviously is going to be a toughie, and then you go on the road against Concordia and finish with Lures. So I think 3 of those 4 games are winnable games for Northside, and we'll see if Northside can be consistent as they head into the playoffs.
This Redskin offensive line averages 258 a man, man tackle to tackle. Here's a run up the middle. I thought Montrell Moore was limping a little bit during the warm-ups, but he'll bring it across the 25 to the 27.
Yeah.
Ivan Nykum at center, Chris Jacobs and Dakota Alder the guards, Evan Clark, and Marvin Williams got the start here tonight, the 250-pound sophomore, 6'3" at right tackle.
Yeah, he's a good prospect, Williams, a big kid, has a big frame.
Gain of 4, second down and 6. Here's Montrell Moore trying to work off tackle to the right side. Is stacked up pretty well. Good pursuit that time defensively by the Generals, as meeting him was Marquel Gaines.
Got a penalty flag down, Joe.
Hard to believe. It's been that kind of a night.
And I think Northside will probably just run Moore here in the second half, try to shorten the game and get out of here. And you're right, you know, Moore was kind of limping around a little bit at halftime, so looked a little bit better on that play, Joe. Yeah, and that's a personal foul, and you know, that's what you hate if you coach Moore. I didn't see that one either, Joe. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just didn't see that one either. Looked like the play was over with Moore. I didn't really see a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of times it's pretty apparent, even from up here, with the personal fouls. But that one, a little bit more of the stealth variety, but obviously happened. And the penalty moves the ball up to the Northside 41, 1st and 10. Early moments of the second half, Redskins on the move. And Arian Nieves is in there at quarterback now to start the second half. So Nieves giving way from Capps, who played the first half and played well. Nieves looking to hand the ball off to Montrell Moore. Again, drags tacklers up to the 45.
Might be a way to get Nieves some snaps, get him back into the feel of game action, you know. I think maybe he could have played tonight, Joe, starting the game, but I think he's still a little bit gimpy, so it's smart by Coach Hall to work him back in the game.
To be honest with you, the surprise to me is that Moore is out there right now if he's nursing a little bit of an injury, leading at 42-3. Motion now, David Johnson, second back, counter run. That's Montrell Moore, bangs to the line, hit at the 47, got another yard to the 48 before being pushed back.
Yeah, Nieves isn't moving real great. I mean, he's moving around out there, but you can see he's not quite himself. But I agree with you, Joe. I'm not sure if I keep running Moore off tackle like this. I mean, Northside's got a lot of talented kids on the roster, and I'm surprised, you know, we're not seeing some other kids in the game.
Now Moore leans down and checks that right knee. I don't know if that's the issue that he's battling right now. Redskins have got trips wide to the left side. An official's timeout stops the clock with 10-10 remaining in this early part of the third quarter. And this is for an equipment problem for one of the Wayne Generals. It was Jacobs, I believe. Jacob Newton, I should say. Now we're ready to go. So it'll be third down and a short 3. Arian Nieves at quarterback to start the second half. Moore, the running back, offset to the left. There was motion, but now, boy, I'll tell you what.
He didn't cross the line. Yeah. If that's not a, that's got to be a false start on Northside because Wayne didn't break the line of scrimmage. I didn't see the false start on Northside, but it couldn't have. Yeah, Wayne didn't break the line of scrimmage, Joe, so it couldn't have been encroachment or. So wow, 24. I'm telling you, Joe. I mean, you may not like this. I kind of hope we get to 30 because I've never been involved in a game or seen a game where it had 30 penalties.
We're number one.
I mean, we're going to set some type of record tonight.
Third and short becomes third down and 8 now, and Nieves now rolls to the left side, moving pretty well, looking to throw, and he does throw on the run. Nice. He's got to catch David Johnson at the 35-yard line and gets another 5 yards down close to the Wayne 31.
And that's the Arian Nieves we saw last year. What a throw that time, and rolling to his left, Joe, and that was a bullet. That's a big-time throw.
And that bodes well for Northside in the weeks ahead. And he showed no ill effects with that rollout run. He'll stay in there out of the pistol. Montrell Moore stays in as the running back. 3 wide to the short side to the left. And Nieves barking out the signals again. Gives to Moore straight ahead and bounces off a tackle, being wrestled down at about the 26-yard line, just short of the 25.
How about Jock Thomas? Just wrestles Moore, grabs Moore, and just slams him to the ground. You think Moore's a big kid at 230 until Thomas just wrestles him.
And still kind of a baby, just a junior, so Jock Thomas, huge upside.
Yeah, big upside. Could you imagine if Robertson's playing, Robertson on one end and Thomas on the other?
Pretty formidable. Now, here we go. Nieves looking and gives it on. No, he kept it himself and just trying to fake the handoff on the read option, but got only another yard to the 25.
A good push up front. You know, again, a nice play again by Thomas. And I know Wayne's down the scoreboard, but in the trenches, Joe, Thomas is dominating his position tonight.
Marvin Williams in there at right tackle, getting the start here tonight, as we mentioned, for the Redskins. Now they split the offense, spread the offense too wide either side of the field. Nieves checks that Wayne defense. No blitz being shown right now. Play clock is at 10. Nieves checks off, maybe changing the play call at the line of scrimmage now. Moore stays in as the running back. Now Wayne shows a little motion up the middle. Here is Nieves. Play action fake, throws over the middle. In traffic, ball is knocked away from David Johnson on that quick post. They've had success with that a couple of times tonight, but too many Wayne jerseys in the flood pattern.
Yeah, the secondary that time did a nice job of staying in their lanes, read the coverage and closed down on Johnson. So good defense for Wayne, and Wayne seems to have tightened it up a little bit here early on in the second half.
It'll bring up 4th down and 5 for Northside. They're going to run a play at the 8:06 mark now, trying to pick up at least a first down. Nieves wants to throw, gives ground, wants to screen back. Got more at the 25, 20, 15, left side, and knocked out of bounds around the 13-yard line. But he'll have enough yardage for the first down. The defensive play was made that time by Ahmad Hill for Wayne.
Yeah, effective screen play. You can see that Nieves really has command of the offense. And when he's in there, they can move Logan Capps back to a wide receiver position, and they have another weapon.
1st and 10 at the Wayne 12-yard line. They'll bring Whitner in as the halfback, offset to the left side. Moore stays in as the tailback, gets the handoff. His second effort, fights his way down close to the 10.
So doesn't want to go down, does he? I see you, big boy.
He runs straight up, Joe.
He does run straight up, and he puts his pads on you. He has no fear.
And see, he's limping a little bit.
I think they probably better get him out of the game now. I mean, he's had a full night's work, and you're way ahead in the scoreboard. Why take a chance?
They're going to bring Logan Capps back in as the running back. Now, he played the entire first half as the quarterback. Now, the officials, again, another equipment problem. So they'll stop the clock with 7:17 to play here in the third quarter. That'll reset the play clock as well. So Nieves still with that white uniform. Offset eye to the left side with Whitner, the halfback. They'll give it off. Capps breaks it off to the right tackle. Looking for running room. Cuts it up and fights for the end zone. Did he get in?
Sure did.
Touchdown.
He's in the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown, and Capps plays so hard, runs hard. That time plants the outside leg and drives to the end zone, Joe. So he's a gamer. He can catch the ball and run the ball, but we're going to have penalty number 25. It's going to be holding on Northside, so that's going to come back.
Maybe that's why he had such a big hold. So Capps was about to have his second rushing touchdown of the night, but that's wiped out.
Then he came back to the huddle, and I saw him barking at the offensive line a little bit.
It cost me.
Guys, cost me. That's mine.
So the penalty is going to move the ball back right around the 20-21 yard line. It'll be 2nd down and long now. And again, the officials timeout, stoppage down. And
I think it could have I'm hoping this might be a light. It's a lightning issue, I'm thinking, Joe.
It must be. So a flash of lightning somewhere. Didn't see it from the press box where we're looking out to the east, but back to the west might be behind the press box, a totally different situation. So we're 30 minutes. And tell you what, let's take a 3-minute timeout right now. 42-3 is our score in favor of Northside here with 7:03 remaining in the third quarter. But we're in a weather delay, and we'll be back with more after this 3-minute timeout. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
You're a super fan who will tailgate anywhere. The pros? Check. College? Check. Your 8-year-old's Pee Wee game? Big time. And to prepare for this ritual, you head to Meijer for freshly prepared food and licensed team apparel. Proudly display allegiance to your favorite team with our licensed short and long sleeve tees, hoodies, hats, and jerseys. Plus, load up on fresh meats, snacks, and drinks. So don't just tailgate, tail greater at Meijer.
Brought to you by Meijer. Meijer is proud to support IHSAA football.
Behind the scenes of the making of a great play area.
I'm envisioning something really spectacular, something over the top. Let's draw up some plans.
Yes, JP.
Right away, JP. Excellent idea. Bold move, JP. We'll get right on it.
I see a large fort with a giant cannon to slide down. Let's make it historic. Tie it in with the history of Fort Wayne. And we gotta have it soft so kids of all ages can play. Let's have those blueprints on my desk by Monday morning.
Jefferson Point and Lutheran Children's Hospital ER presents Fort Wayne's largest indoor soft play area. Parents can relax while the kids explore a fort, slide down a cannon, and crawl through the 16-foot cherry blossom tree. Over 2,000 square feet of indoor play area, the largest retail play area in the state of Indiana. Bring the kids and enjoy the fun at Jefferson Point. For details, go to jeffersonshopping.com.
There's so much to see. It's where you want to be. Jefferson Point, Jefferson Point.
The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're aspiring pro or recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team.
Hi, this is Russ Isaacs, former head football coach and athletic director at Snyder High School. I can tell you from personal experience that next to winning a championship, nothing compares to receiving a championship ring. The ring is a culmination of high achievement and adds tremendously to a student athlete's self-esteem.
Take it from the coach. Honor your achieving student athlete with a championship ring from Signature Style Jewelry. Join the winner's circle. Get a free price quote and your artwork today. Call Todd Oliver at 800-273-8124, extension 3. That's 800-273-8124, extension 3. Write it down, 800-273-8124, extension 3. Or email him at todd@signaturestylegewelry.com. That's Todd at signaturestylegewelry.com. Signature Style Jewelry, the leading online retailer of championship rings, class rings, and fashion jewelry.
You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Ladies and gentlemen, because of the weather conditions, because of the lightning, you must clear the stand.
Just getting a further advisory from the press box. They are going to clear the stadium here at Wayne Stadium because of the flash of lightning. It's not really in the vicinity, Joe, but that's the rule. When you have a flash that's noticeable, it's 30 minutes. The clock rewinds after every flash of lightning. And you're looking at the weather, the radar, and it does not look very promising. Can't tell which way it's moving.
No, it's moving. It's moving southeast. And what they saw a flash all the way out in Whitley County. I mean, that's how far they saw. But you know what? It's going to be flashing for about the next hour and a half. There's a big turbulent cell that's coming in that's reaching all the way, Joe, that pushes all the way back to the west side of Joliet. That's right, the west side of Joliet. So you have a cell that is a huge cell, and at the front of it, looping around, coming into the Whitley County and up in Noble County is a very turbulent part of that cell. So you've got a big cell coming, and I mean, they're in a weather delay out at Spoller Stadium. A lot of the games out in the western part of the state are delayed for this, and I would be surprised if we see any more football tonight.
Yeah,
and you know, and you're in the third quarter. It's 42-3. No offense to Wayne, but I think Northside made their point, and maybe it's a point to get back in the buses, give the kids a break, and move on to next week.
Probably 99 out of 100 times I would agree with you. you, but I was at a college game last week where it was 48-7 in the third quarter, and needed a gift from God to hold on to a 48-42 win. But that's another story. But I totally agree with you here. You know, it seems like we run into these weather situations at least once a season where there's a suspension for at least a period of time, and a lot of times they'll suspend the game until the next morning. We cannot do that, of course, but we'll hang on till we get a final decision. But also the coaches can get together and decide just to call it and then leave it as a 42-3
and I think
final decision.
I think that's what Coach Hall and Coach Moore are talking about on the 40-yard line. I think Coach Hall's whispering in his ear, saying, "Hey, why don't we take a break from this?" And I think that Coach Moore is considering it. So, but you got to think. We look around the area. How much does this impact Carroll Snyder? You know, a big game, 14-7, and you know those big games are like heavyweight fights, Joe. There's such an ebb and flow. Well, how does that affect that game when you go in the locker room and take your pads off?
They'll play that game, Joe, if they got to come back on Tuesday.
Yeah, you're right. That one's going to happen no matter what. But you have to wonder with the ebb and flow, what's that going to do to that game? I mean, obviously, Dwanger was rolling Northrop last report. I'm stunned. East Noble has no pulse tonight. Leo, 21-0 over East Noble. The Concordia Lures game is competitive. I don't know if they're playing over there, but you have to wonder with those delays and some of those big games, you know, how's that going to affect the team? I guess it's when you fall back on your senior leadership to get you through that, but I'd be surprised. You know, we'll hang on here. I'd be surprised if we have any more football here tonight, Joe.
Joe, I was thinking back years ago, I was doing a St. Francis game in Tiffin, Ohio, and rain came in. It was like in the second half, and Tiffin had a big lead, I think like 28-7, and their coach was talking to Kevin Donnelly, the head coach of the Cougars, and saying, well, you know, we're kind of up big here. Why don't we just call it a day? And Coach D said, I don't care if we have to wait till midnight to finish this game. And St. Francis came back and won that game. You know, the weather delay. It was like 3 hours, but they got the game in, and the Cougars came back and won that game. So that's the other side of the table, if you will, because you really never know. But the odds certainly, you know, with all the freshmen starting for Wayne, and you know, maybe you've gotten what you can out of this game here tonight.
I think you have. I think Wayne's gotten good experience. There's been a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, and at this point the game's just not competitive. And I think it just makes a lot of sense to finish the game right now, Joe, to call the game. I really do.
Well, let's do this. So we've got about 10 minutes after 9. Let's return it to Fox Sports for programming, and we'll try to give you an update over the next 15 or 20 minutes. Let's see if we're getting some further information.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned that.
We're going to get our promise over at 11:30.
Trying to pick up what the latest word was. Well,
it sounds like the cell. Sounds like they don't think the cell is going to roll through till after 11:30. So
yeah, that's
I don't think you can play. And there was a game last year. Homestead traveled up to Valparaiso, and that was puzzling because they started the game after midnight Eastern time because it was delayed. And I didn't think you could start a game in high school football after midnight, but I didn't realize that Valparaiso was on Central time, so it was 11 p.m. kickoff, and they played the game.
Yes, sir.
So I know there's that midnight rule, but it's going to be a couple of hours before things calm down with this cell. So, you know, I guess we'll see. Again, I would be surprised if they came back and we played high school football the rest of the night.
Right now, if you're just joining us, we're well, fairly early in the second half, 7:03 on the clock, 42-3 in favor of the Northside Redskins. We're going to return and expect to maybe get an update in the next 20 minutes or so. But in the meantime, let's return you to Fox Sports programming, and we'll come back with an update and let you know maybe one way or the other as soon as we know a little bit more. 42-3 in favor of Northside over Wayne. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
I like things fast.